Forget the clash at Bowman Gray. We are getting started with the duels at Daytona. Welcome to the final set of races before we get the season officially underway. Tonight, we race to set the grid for the Great American Race. I'm Joshua Birch. Welcome to JB Motorsports and USN. Alongside me is Matthew Owens as well as JT and Jack as always. Matthew, here we go then. It's duel time.
Here we go. Good evening, everybody. Ready to go for what is always one of the best nights of Speed Weeks, or Speed Week, whatever we're calling it these days. These Thursday qualifiers have been around for as long as the Daytona 500 has been, since 1959. It always produces amazing storylines and really dramatic racing. Hoping for more of the same tonight as we set the 41-car field for Sunday's Great American Race.
Yeah, we're going to be setting that grid ever so shortly as well, and we'll have our first duel. Now, Kyle Busch has already qualified through. He's on pole position for the Daytona 500. And Matthew, what an amazing run. I can't believe he might actually do this. He might have a shot at winning the 500 after so many tries. And me and you last night were certainly busy up in the qualifying commentary box.
Obviously has an extremely fast car. They built a great car at Richard Childress Racing. He was fastest in both rounds of qualifying. Now, what will that car look like in race conditions tonight? And of course, as always, the risk versus the reward on this night of qualifying races for both him and Chase Briscoe, who qualified on the front row last night as well. How hard do you want to race? What kind of situations do you want to put that car into? Because if you get caught up in a crash, have to go to a backup car. You have to go to the back of the starting grid for Sunday.
Yeah, there's still a lot to play for in these races. JT, good evening to you. Well, we clashed nicely. It took us a while to get there, but now it's time for Daytona. Just 8 days have passed since we were at Bowman Gray, and now we're ready to go on a super speedway for the first race at Daytona. How are you doing tonight, my friend?
I don't want to touch anything, but I think it's stable.
You've got the OBS working, haven't you, for Ninja?
I think it's okay. Matthew, have you seen what's in Video Ninja?
I wish I could say yes. I'm about to send you what I'm seeing instead. Right.
But yeah, Clash was good. Absolute Crash stock car fest. I was meant to be the day of I was at the British Madhouse, and I call it the British Madhouse because it is we compared them last year on stream, and they are absolutely identical. Ringwood Raceway. What has Matthew sent me? This is on the. Something tells me you've clicked the wrong link. Hold on.
Oh dear. It's all starting like this, like crazy. Jack, good afternoon, good evening to you as well over there. We're getting set for a great one. What do you think we're going to see here at the America 250 Florida Duel 1?
I think we're going to see... Because I'm focused more on the open cars today, because that's more my interest. I think we're going to see a calm Duel 1 and a chaotic Duel 2 that makes Bowman Gray look like Formula 1.
Well, let's head down for the pre-race ceremonies. That Premier have joined extremely late.
that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Who knew Miss America could sing? I must admit, that looked like a Fox issue to me. That came through, but we're getting ready to duel. Our first one here at Daytona to link up with Matthew. The drivers are ready. We're sort of ready, I think, up here in the commentary booth as we take a look at our systems as Premier again go to break. What are you expecting then down towards that first corner? Because as Jack said just before we came on air, he's expecting the same old. Duel 1 will be very quiet, very boring. And then Duel 2 is going to go absolutely crazy. A similar thing did happen last year, as you remember.
Well, and that's normally the opposite way of how it went for so many years. You had the wild race in race 1, and then all the drivers and crew chiefs sitting on top of their haulers watching the race would be calm in race 2. Again, this thing has gone through so many different changes. There's so many layers to it over the years. Fact of the matter is, this is 150 miles. These cars cannot go that distance in this race without a fuel stop. So at some point, you have to come down for fuel. Will you change tires? That'll determine. That will probably be determined if it is a green flag pit stop or if it happens under caution. There's also the risk versus reward that I mentioned earlier for the front row guys in Busch and Briscoe, but there's also other teams that have that same risk versus reward. How hard do they want to press this car? Remember, week 2 of the season is another drafting track super speedway at Atlanta. You do not want to have to go to a backup car on Sunday for that reason. Also for the reason because they believe this car is the best car that they have for the 500. But also remember, staying with risk versus reward. For some reason, I've never understood this, and I hate it, but it is factual. There are points being awarded for this race to the top 10 finishers in each race. The winner of each duel will get 10 points. Second place gets 9. It's like a stage in a race. That matters even more so this year than it has the past handful because we've gone to the chase instead of the playoffs, and those points will be crucial. We basically start the championship tonight. So how hard do you want to run for those points versus how much risk do you want to put on this race car?
That's a perfect example, isn't it, as well, Jack, of that every point does matter now that we have moved over back to a different but equally more exciting chase format than what we saw 13 years ago. But effectively, this will be the first race of the season. Before the first race, we may as well just go and start awarding points at Bowman Gray. I don't get why points are on offer for a qualifying race. What do you make of that?
I mean, I'm in the boat of people that think pole position should award a point or two. So, I think qualifying should be somewhat rewarded. Maybe not. Maybe like 5 points to the winner of the duel. I don't know. I don't like the amount of points that are awarded, but I'm okay with it personally.
It's only for 60 laps, which is effectively nearly a stage around here. So it's Matthew is correct.
I think you reminded me that stage racing's still here.
Yeah, Matthew, can you help me here, please, Oracle? Why have we still got stage racing when we have completely removed the need for stages and stage points going into it? It doesn't make sense. Why?
TV rules all. And when you get stage cautions, TV can go to commercial, full screen commercial breaks, which I mean they do during green flag racing anyway.
That's
but
with
yes,
Fox, so yeah.
Extra opportunity for the networks to get to a full screen break, which makes them money. So that's the only reason why we've stayed on that.
JT, would you ever do full screen breaks? He's our producer, by the way, for this evening. I'm just waiting for him to show things up. Go on.
I would not, because of how, well, it's not easy, but of how easy I figured, well, no, it took me 12 hours, but once it's done, it's easy to do again. The picture-in-picture we did.
Oh yeah,
That
picture.
one's going to be
Picture-in-picture
replayed. Yeah,
was
I would go picture-in-picture. I have got a DM from the Oracle, which means something important has happened. I
Well-
need to log in
Yeah,
to
getting all set.
something. Do not, guys, do not join the Discord call on another device logged into the same account that you are currently on, because it disappears.
Yeah, that's quite clever as to why it does actually happen. Coming into it, oh, these headphones, I've been wearing them all day. They're very uncomfortable. Did anyone else ever get that? Coming into it, same old,
The answer
getting
to
ready
that
for
question,
season.
Matthew, is no idea. You need to message JB.
Can I Alright. Can I just say, Mike Joy up in the commentary box, I've just seen him on our monitor. We've got the international feed on the one picture and I've got Fox on another. Whoever's put harsh light on him, I think he works best in soft light. Just as a heads up, coming into it. Right, here we go. Time for pre-race ceremonies. Try to send it downstairs.
Thursday night, under the lights, 2 races to set the field for the 500. Coming up right now. Let's go trackside.
Daytona International Speedway, here to fire engines for duel number 1. Please welcome Florida Department of Transportation Secretary Jared Perdue, joined by the United States Air Force Thunderbirds. Drivers, start your engines!
Engines are fired. We are standing by to get ready. Matthew Owens, you have the grid. And let's do what we always do and work out. So, can someone flip a coin? Who wants the first race start? Who wants the first race end? Who wants this? And in turn, you get the second race start and the second race end. Who wants what?
After what happened with the race that we did at Richmond trying to figure this out, I'm not going to go through spinning a wheel or flipping a coin again. I will take the start of race 1. I will take the finish of race 2. Does that work?
That works. I'll take the end of race 1 and the start of race 2. There we go. JT, write that down so we don't forget. In fact, I'll write that down. I've got a notebook here in my commentary box now. So, Matthew, I'm literally writing it down. Matthew is
While you're doing that, JB, can we get a live reaction from Matthew right now?
Oh, God.
What?
Matthew, you said you have Video Ninja open, correct?
Yeah, I do, yes.
This is, if it works...
Do you want me to put this on the screen now?
No, it's alright. I mean, yeah, go on, actually.
There you go.
This, good.
You with
This
it?
is your new stinger.
Okay.
Oh,
look at him
yes!
go. Look at him go. See. How can anyone... JT, I mean, he's the best in the world.
He's great, isn't he? Can we get a JBM stinger like that? I know we've kind of already got one with the white, we've got the blue and the yellow slash. That is the JBM stinger. Should we just keep that and not bother changing it? That's amazing.
Yeah, because that took me like 8 hours to do, definitely.
Yeah.
It didn't take me like 2 minutes. It definitely took me 8 hours. So,
Okay.
yeah.
You need to redo your lighting, the checker flag at the top of your head. Is that a sign that they all blind you? What's going on? Where? You need to redo your lighting, that checker flag and the top of your head, and that sign all blind you. Oh yeah, right. I just like to point out I do not have a bald spot. I've got very thin hair. Just quickly. I'm 26 years old, my friends. I have a full set of hair. Thank you very much. I can't redo my lighting. It's a fixed light above me. What do you want me to do? Knock the light down and push it back on again? I'll try and get a diffuser like that, maybe. That help? But I'll stand back. We're not on camera all the time anyway. The screen, if you're new here to NASCAR coverage, what you'll see on stream is this screen during the races. During the actual season, you'll have a driver tracker as well in operation, but that's not available for the duels. It's only available during Cup and the All-Star race. So we have this. This is the laps and rundown screen, which is the white box, gives you a summary of the race, of how long we've raced and average speed, laps and stages to go, alongside the timings on the other side of the page. We also have this screen, which is the full laps and rundown, and several other pages around. There's just drivers coming through, flying into it as well to play into it, including Matthew Owens, time to lead us through the grid, and hopefully for JT to get ready, as we will now head to his stinger screen. Matthew, take it away.
Starting grid for the first Daytona 500 qualifying race. He's Kyle Busch, three-time winner of his Duel at Daytona. On the pole, he is alongside Berlin, Connecticut's Ryan Preece, who, of course, has had memorable moments at Daytona in the past. Row 2, Corey Heim, who time-trialed his way into the 500 last night. He's alongside Alex Bowman, not starting on the front row this year. He started, of course, on the front row 6 times in 500 history. That's the most. Chris Buescher, a former Daytona winner in the 400-mile race, starts along in row 3, flanked by another 4, Joey Logano, also a 3-time winner of the Duel at Daytona. Austin Dillon is a former Daytona 500 and 400 winner here. He starts in row 4 alongside Corey LaJoie, the highest starting open car that needs to race his way in to the 500 through this race tonight. Row 5, John Hunter Nemechek for Legacy Motor Club and Toyota. He's alongside Brad Keselowski, who makes another attempt at winning the 500 this year. Row 6, High Point, North Carolina's Ryan Blaney for Team Penske, alongside the winner of the last 2 Daytona 500s, William Byron. He's going for an unprecedented 3rd straight win in the 500 this year. Row 7, Cole Custer for Haas Factory Team. They've changed to Chevrolet this season. He's alongside Cody Ware from Greensboro, North Carolina. Row 8, Jimmy Johnson, the 7-time series champion, 2-time winner of the Daytona 500. He's in that row with another Toyota, Darrell Wallace Jr. for 2311 Racing. Row 9, A.J. Allmendinger, that stylized 16, of course, honoring the late Greg Biffle. Tonight he starts alongside Ross Chastain's Busch Light Chevrolet. Row 10, the road course ringer, Shane Van Gisbergen, starts from 19th on the grid alongside his former teammate, but now with the Spire Motorsports team, Daniel Suarez, a New Zealander and a Mexican in row 10. Row 11, couple of open cars that need to race their way in tonight, starting with Chandler Smith. The young 23-year-old has never started in the Daytona 500. He's failed to qualify in each attempt he's made. He's with Casey Mears, the runner-up in the 500 to Jimmy Johnson in 2006. Trying to get to his 494th career start. And alone in row 12 into the first race tonight is Noah Gragson from Las Vegas, but his time disallowed in qualifying last night. That's the starting grid, 23 cars strong in this opening Daytona 500 qualifying race, 60 laps, 150 miles, the distance for both races tonight.
I absolutely love that graphic that JT's got hold of us as well. It is brilliant. Well done, my friend. And that is the Apex pad and the USA and the tools and JBM that you'll see throughout. I also have the ability, by the way, I haven't told them about this. If I wanted to, I could give Matthew Owens devil horns. I can. I have the magic pen to do so.
And now,
so coming into it. Go on.
Behind the scenes, what you guys don't know is this is the thing that is lagging my surface out. I can press this one button and that will hide every single grid text, so if we need to pull up the graphics in the race, you won't see in the bottom left, inside row, whatever, outside row.
Oh, now it works. Dear me. I just tried to give him a devil horn and it didn't work. Hang on a minute. Stay still, Matthew. Stay still.
Okay, stay still. Here we go.
There we go. You've already got the goatee, I'm afraid, so I'll give you a little moustache as well. Coming into it.
What is going on? Oh, what is going on?
There we go. Just keeping you on your toes, mate. Keeping you on your toes.
Are we at a point? Well, I think we were always... Wait, no. Are we now at this point where the graphics are more professional than the broadcasts themselves?
Probably yes. Yeah. Because we've now got the Apex tool, so I can
I wasn't
draw.
talking about that. I was
anything.
talking about the new USN Stinger.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah. Probably. Here we're getting almost definitely coming into it. But do you like the Apex pad then? And all those little tools coming into it? So,
you got too many toys over there.
honestly, 25 quid, the best 25 quid I've ever spent in my life to have this little tool. If you were at home and ever got a graphics tablet to come into it as well, that's all it is. It's just literally a tiny little graphics tablet. Here it is. And we've got it on the desk of the commentary box. And already we've used it so much over the last 3 days of F1 testing. It's practically paid for itself with the amount of viewers who absolutely love the content. Megan's been practicing on it as well, so she's ready to draw devilish things. Nina's had a go on it. We've done some features with it, but she can't get the pen to work just yet. So give her a little bit of time, and then when we're all in the commentary box, that'll be the use. JT, you've got an actual Surface tablet, though, to do it, so yours works better as we can come into it. But what are you expecting?
Hold on.
Go on.
We need that clipped and we need that put in the archives. JB, for once, saying that my Apex pad is better than his, because I can tell you in DMs it's been the opposite.
Well, I have the software to do everything like that and get it on the stream. You have the ability to actually touch the screen. So I had to buy an accessory to do it. You have the ability to do it. So,
Yeah, right. Super Speedway talk here.
Yeah, go on.
Of course, the A-post flaps are here, and, well, I'm going to get cut short by A-post flaps because, well, the pace car is going to turn A left into pit road momentarily.
Here we go then, folks. Strap yourselves in and get ready. It's the start of the NASCAR season in 2026. The first Duel at Daytona from JB Motorsports. A very much happy welcome to YouTube for NASCAR and USN. Matthew Owens, take it away.
Excited to get this going here tonight. One of the best nights in all of Speed Weeks is when we run these 150-mile qualifying races. The build-up to the Daytona 500, we've had the Clash. Now we're set to Duel, and we'll set the field for the 500 on Sunday. Kyle Busch on the pole. He's chosen to start on the outside. To his inside, Ryan Preece. Toyota Camry pace car to pit road. And here we go towards the start line. Green flag will wave, and it's time to drop the hammer in race one of the night. Qualifying race night at Daytona is underway, and it's Kyle Busch who gets through the gearbox the fastest, puts a nose in front of Ryan Preece to driver's left. 23 cars strong, building speed, rumbling, crashing into the banking. 31 degrees of it in turn one. It's Busch by a nose, Preece to his left elbow. Row two, Alex Bowman and Corey Heim. Here they come, shooting off turn two and down the 3,000-foot back straightaway.
Now, what we've seen in previous years is the man who started on pole position dropped back dramatically. He didn't want to risk getting to fight, but as Matthew pointed out earlier on, with the fact there's now points on the line here, and we're now going into a chase format, you've got to push incredibly hard, but that's not going to be possible as Gay taking the lead down low. Alex Bowman is going to complete it. Ryan Preece trying to go through as well, trying to just get a sneaky lead over the line, and it is going to be Ryan Preece leading with Kyle Busch second. Alex Bowman drops down into third position. Corey Heim is running up there in the 67 car as well. He did incredibly well earlier on in the Truck Series practice session where half the field nearly failed to actually get a session going into it. But this is looking very strong. Matthews ahead out of Speedway 2, down the back straightaway. So far so good, just playing it nice and cool.
The whole way round the first 3.5 miles of this race. Preece with a nose in front of the bottom of the racetrack. That violet number 60 ahead of that bright green number 8 of Kyle Busch as they climb the turns 3 and 4 banking once again. No one has broken rank so far. It is a full speed pace lap as they swing up out of turn number 4. Preece led lap 1 by just 13 1/1000ths of a second. Lap 2 will also be led by Preece by nearly double the margin, 3 100ths of a second as we stay 2 by 2. Heading back to turn number 1.
Jack, what did you make of that start as well? They're all playing it super duper cool so far as they swing in Speedway 1. Kind of what you were expecting, actually.
Yeah, it's just what I expect from Duel 1 at this point. Just calm, composed. I imagine that won't last because John Hunter Nemechek and Corey LaJoy are both in this duel.
Yeah.
But I mean, LaJoy's one of those open cars as well, so he's. I mean, where are the other two open cars? You got Chandler Smith is in 20th. I imagine just behind him is Casey Miz. So realistically, LaJoy can just cruise around, and all he really has to do is just not crash, and he'll be fine.
Hey, gentlemen.
To qualify.
They've remembered that they've got a driver tracker. So while I set that up, let's go to the battle screen. They've remembered it.
You are right about that, Jack, about LaJoy. Obviously, through qualifying last night, he has a much faster car than Mears or Chandler Smith does. But we've seen that it happen just a couple of years ago when Jimmy Johnson was trying to race his way in. He had a much faster car than I believe it was J.J. Yaley, but then Johnson got caught up in something and nearly got beaten by Yaley as we've had movement on the inside row, and thrusting his way into the lead into turn 3 goes the truck champion, Corey Heim. Had an opening on the inside, jumped in front of that left line, and Austin Dillon has pushed him to the front. So Corey Heim, who will run 12 Cup Series races this year with 23.11, goes to the lead. But how long will he have it? Not for long at all, because at the line, Austin Dillon gets to his inside and pass.
Yeah, they accepted that one, didn't they, coming into it? They've tried the battle. Will they accept that they might lose out here to this evening? They've got to play this one, I think, Matthew. Super duper cool early on. You don't want to be part of the reason why you cause a big wreck and cost your own championship. Radio coming through from Dylan.
Now there's 4 on the bottom, all 4 is behind the 42.
Yeah, I think that's wise there, Matthew. They don't want to get involved in anything out there tonight. Just, it's shake and bake time, isn't it, really? Just keep your nose very much clean as a whistle.
Austin Dillon communication. Richard Boswell is crew chief as we've had another change at the front. Dillon drifted up high after he got the lead and down to his inside. Attacking and getting past is John Hunter Nemechek. So Nemechek in the Dollar Tree Toyota for Legacy Motor Club. He goes to the front of this field. He's being pushed by 2 Team Penske teammates, Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano, who are masters at the drafting track super speedway racing style. They have moved up quickly on the inside. So on the inside lane, it is Nemechek from Blaney, from Logano, and then Cole Custer, who, remember, could have easily won both Daytona races last year. As up above them, Corey Heim gets shuffled to the middle. Chris Buescher gets with his teammate, Ryan Priest, pushes him up to the back bumper of Austin Dillon, and we're 3 wide, about 4 rows back. Heim stuck in the middle. He's between Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place then, trying to find a way to go through. You don't really want to be the one to sort of say, oh, no, sorry, after you, mate. It's all going to be fine tonight, isn't it? You are racing for points. You're racing for position. You're racing for a starting grid that needs to be done. So fingers crossed it's going to go well. As see, look at Joey Logano, just keeping that low line, but he's getting the side draft from Buescher, pushing him incredibly hard across the top. So far, so good. It's lap 7 of 60.
Logano, a 3-time winner of his Daytona 500 qualifying race, 2019, 2020, and 2023. As mentioned, he's really good at this style of racing, and also these short 60-lap sprint races. It really fits Logano's aggressive style. So Logano third on that inside line, right behind a teammate in Ryan Blaney. That's a good spot for those Team Penske guys, as we're up front, nose-to-nose for the lead is John Hunter Nemechek and Austin Dillon as they thunder back off into turn number 1.
Watch it now. This is going to get a little bit treacherous because that's where we usually see it. JT, let's go down to you. What have you made of the first 8 laps as they come through at the top now? Look at Austin Dillon right there.
Yep, being a nice, clean first 8 laps. And now going down the back straight, Nemechek and Dillon were side by side, but Priest pushes Dillon back to the lead once again.
Yeah, I kind of expected that to happen as well. Dillon was looking a bit stronger at the front. And of course now Nemechek is going to have to rely on Ryan Blaney to try and push him through. 3 lead changes so far. The 60, the 42, and now the 3 have taken control as they get 52 laps to go. Austin Dillon leads. Look at Ryan Priest in 3rd place. We're not seeing much 3 wide running, which I'm expecting here.
By the way, I mentioned those teammates on the bottom, Blaney and Logano. We'll look up top. RFK had very good fortune getting all 4 of their cars in the same qualifying race tonight, and all 4 of them have linked up topside. So that top lane is being led by Austin Dillon, and then it's 4 straight RFK Fords: Priest, Buscher, LaJoy, and Keselowski. Of course, Keselowski co-owns this team. For him tonight, and for that whole team, their main objective is to get Corey LaJoy into the Daytona 500, and LaJoy is in a really good spot right now, JB, being able to be at the front and with teammates around. He's in a very safe position. He's the 4th car in line on the outside. He's 3rd in line along with his teammates. So Corey LaJoy really has to like the position he's in. He's played his cards very well in the first 10 laps.
Enjoying seeing him now. Look, he's on the outside line. He's going to get a push from Brad Keselowski. He's, don't forget, recovering from a broken leg. You are right, he is in a safe spot. Look at the 42, just dropped back massively. He was alone in that draft in the low line.
Look at those teammates.
Oh, through goes the 50 on the inside. So that's the 6th. It's Ryan Priest coming through down low. He easily clears Austin Dillon. Dillon backs off to about 4th place in the run. Through goes Buscher, and here comes Corey LaJoy trying to find a way through. But Buscher is almost pushing Priest across that line.
Coordinated move by those 4 RFK teammates that I just mentioned. They all moved to the bottom when they had room on the inside part of the racetrack. They were able to just hose Austin Dillon, and now those 4 RFK Fords move in unison to the front of the field together. Priest, Buscher, LaJoy, Keselowski, then the Toyota of Nemechek, then Blaney, then Dillon, as Buscher gives another push to Priest down this back straightaway. But that is great stuff from the RFK team. Teamwork. You're going to hear us talk about teamwork all night tonight and then Sunday for the 500. And I mean, that was a coordinated team effort right there to get all 4 of those cars at the front of the field together.
Sort of expecting as well to come through that we are going to have 3 wide action in the actual 500, but in the duels they all try and stay into 2 separate lanes. It's the least course of drama and action. And that 3rd lane, you can sort of see, Matthew, can't you, right in the centre. It's like the most obvious gap that missing half the field in this run, but 2 lanes will do just nicely. And look at this from Ryan Priest. Now he's going to get a big run from Buscher. And I'm trying to see on the outside line if we can see Blaney get a run as well and get a little bit of a love tap behind from Alex Bowman. He's getting close coming through Speedway 3. Bowman might just give him a tap.
Remember, this is only half the field. This is roughly half of what the Daytona 500 field will be. Only 23 cars in this race. That means there's less energy in the pack. That means it is going to be much more difficult to run 3 wide tonight with basically half a field of cars. So more than likely, we're probably only going to see double file action tonight, except for maybe if guys do get desperate at the end, maybe they will try to break ranks and go 3 abreast. But I think all those guys at the front, the RFK cars, Blaney, Logano, I think they're very happy. They're very comfortable with where they're at. Remember, everyone will have to stop once for fuel in this race. If it comes under green, you want things to be as orderly and sanitary as possible. You don't want to get too much jockeying back and forth when you're going 180 some miles an hour and have to get down to 55 to get to pit road.
Let's apologise for the quietness of the track audio. For some reason, Fox have turned their audio right down today, which isn't our fault. Sometimes it's better for the duels, but it's always when we're on Premier Sports 2 with Fox, you barely hear anything in the background. So if you're experiencing any high-pitchedness, it is the Fox commentators. Don't worry about it whatsoever. As through, then Priest takes the high line. Again, that was a replay a few moments ago of when the 3 of Austin Dillon just dropped back. And Jack, he had nowhere to go, completely lost out of action. No one to give him a helping push.
I think what's happening right now with the RFK cars is they're kind of just acting as Corey LaJoy's personal bodyguards right now. That's what's happening here. They're making sure he gets into the show, because then that helps them in the main race. But I will also say, just of note to the Roush team, they've all got those Greg Biffle fonted numbers on there in remembrance for Greg Biffle, who tragically passed away along with his wife and 2 children in December. It's a really, really nice touch. I think AJ Allmendinger's got one as well as a few of the truck guys too.
couple of them are always running out, and there will be a special tribute coming up as well in the race on Sunday in the main Daytona build-up. 15 laps complete, 45 to go at the moment, and looking stronger as we continue on. And, well, Joey Logano's sort of broken out now as well, so we are running 7 single file, then it's double file behind, and it's getting a little bit jockey in there, JT, as they come into it. No, JT? Yeah, so just a little bit of a close look around to go into it. I think JT's got an issue. Go on.
What Jack said a moment ago, I think you're absolutely right. Those Priest, Busher, and Keselowski are working as bodyguards for LaJoie. Look how LaJoie is third in line. So no one can get in front of him. That's not a teammate. No one can get behind him. That's not a teammate. They're at the very front of the field. This is very comfortable right now for Corey. And as we said earlier, Chandler Smith and Casey Mears, they do not have the brute strength and speed to compete with LaJoie, especially if LaJoie is being helped by his teammates, which he is. So the only way Casey Mears or Chandler Smith upsets the apple cart here is if something goes wrong with LaJoie, whether it's a mechanical failure, flat tire, speeding on pit road. If LaJoie just runs a clean race, I mean, this should be a pretty done deal for the 99, but we know how difficult it is. You got to keep it nice and tidy. That's difficult around here, and it'll be interesting to see when these pit stops come. Normally, when we ran these races pre-next-gen car, you would get to your fuel window, whatever that may be, lap 25, lap 30, and then you'd pit. Now that we're in the next-gen car, and you don't have to wait, or you do have to wait for fuel if you change tires, normally the plan has been run as long as you can, come down, fill up on fuel, or at least I say fill up. You don't have to fill all the way up to make it to the end, but come in as late as you can to stop for fuel. So I'll be interested to see what the strategy is like tonight as far as when these pit stops are going to happen.
Oh, and Logano getting into the back of his teammate Ryan Blaney there as well and almost spinning him around. That's not in the game plan.
Well, I said earlier, Logano is incredibly aggressive. Yeah, he's incredibly aggressive in these super speedway racing. And Blaney, of course, Blaney knows that because these two are teammates. So Blaney probably would say that wasn't as dramatic as we thought it was because he probably knew it was coming. But if there is a wild card in the deck here to try to break up this RFK momentum at the front, it would be those two, because those two probably could work together whenever they choose to swing around Nemechek and then take the fight to the RFK forks.
Just bringing some news coming in from the truck series as well, now that we are covering on JB Motorsports in more detail. This is from Bob Popcrass. Hemrick and Wright trucks have failed twice the truck tech and have had their crew member ejected and will lose the pit stalls for Atlanta next week. So already it's happening. It's failing. Right, Larry Mack has got some news.
7 miles per gallon. That means you can run about 8 to 10 more laps than anybody else. But the biggest thing, it's going to shorten your pit stop up by over 2 seconds. That's what you do. You're saving fuel, but it's to shorten the stop up.
And if that stop happens under...
Yeah, so we've still got to run a pit stop, as they mentioned, Matthew, and that's why they all sort of want to just save fuel quite a lot coming into it.
Yeah, and I can already tell there's going to be people on Twitter and everywhere else complaining, oh, it's just fuel saving. That's kind of the point of auto racing, isn't it? To be strategic about it. I don't know when we started this nonsense of complaining about fuel saving. You know, the Indianapolis 500-mile race, greatest race in the world, when the green flag drops, it is basically a big fuel-saving game to strategize your way to the end. Well, that's what super speedway racing has become in NASCAR now. You save fuel while you're on the racetrack, so your pit stop will be quicker. You want to wait as long on fuel. People, for some reason, just absolutely hate that, as if we're supposed to go 3 and 4 wide 100% of the time around these tracks. Believe me when I say we have never had that happen. Never in the history of time have drivers gone 3 and 4 wide every lap of every race at Daytona and Talladega. Stop complaining.
And people want to know where we're commentating from. Me, JT, and Jack are in the UK. Matthew Owens is in America. And our new member, Josh Henderson, is in New Zealand. And you'll hear from him tomorrow in the Truck Series race on JB Motorsports as well. That's going to be a shocker.
I cannot wait to work with him throughout the season on some O'Reilly and Truck Series races. That'll be so much fun.
Have you spoken with him yet, actually?
I have not.
Oh,
no.
he's amazing. JT can back me up about how amazing he was. And Jack, you too. A lot of fun after. We had a couple hour call with him after Bowman Gray. Really strong, really good guy.
Yeah, very fun to talk to, I have to say.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Now, we have had some moving and shaking here at the back of those RFK Fords at the front. Kyle Busch was able to charge up the outside and clear Logano, Blaney, and Nemechek, and then get in line between Keselowski and Nemechek. So Busch is up to 5th. The top, 8 are single file. And that goes from Ryan Preece to Cole Custer. In fact, Chandler Smith has gotten in there too. Smith has gotten ahead of Custer. So that's the first open car. That's the first time Smith or Mears has been able to break into the lead pack. So Chandler Smith, just keep an eye on him. Running in the 9th position. He needs to pass that 99 car to race his way in. As we're getting closer and closer to halfway here, working lap 23 of 60.
Just in the YouTube chat about saying he's the 84 new this season with the new number for Jimmy Johnson. He's been that ever since he left the sport and came back to doing odd races. It's the 48 flipped around. But he's running in 23rd place. So yes. But he doesn't care, does he, Matthew? He's in. He's the 41st car.
No, actually, he doesn't care at all, quite literally, because they took the special exempt provisional that Helio Castroneves took to get in this race last year. They took that provisional to make sure Johnson was in and he didn't have to time or race his way in. So they get none of the purse money, Jimmy Johnson. So that team will get no money from running this race. So there's absolutely no reason to put his car in a spot where it could be damaged tonight. So, yeah, Johnson, he's fine finishing last tonight, starting at the back and seeing what he has on Sunday. But yes, Johnson will run at least this race and San Diego in that 84 car this year. He's going to also run the trucks at San Diego. That's, of course, a home race for him. And he's running here, there, and everywhere this year in all kinds of different forms of motorsports.
I will say I have heard that he wants to run the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
I think he does.
San Diego too. And I will note that Sam Hunt now have an 84 car listed. So that's probably where he's going to end up.
Yeah, probably so. Those Penske cars have moved to the top of the racetrack, by the way. I just want to keep my eye on those yellow cars, Blaney and Logano. They've jumped to the top. Logano pushing Blaney. Blaney is alongside Busch, and maybe that top lane is about to start creeping in on the RFK contingency at the front. It's still Preece, Buescher, LaJoie, and Keselowski, single file, double file from 5th on back, but Blaney and Logano, JB, you can't not keep your eye on those two because they're the Pied Pipers of the group, truly.
They are indeed, and this is where you've sort of got to watch what happens because we're getting towards halfway. Fuel will come into it, and this is where we, as some people are saying, start to see the big one. We don't want that happening. They don't want to have to fail and go to the back of the field. But the positive is, if you do crash and have to go into your backup car, yes, you start from the back of the field, but it's one of the most unpredictable races, and you get 2 more practice sessions after this. It's not as big as penalty as you might think it is.
Just that 12 and 22, they are trying so hard to push each other, but they don't have a lot of help up there. They can get alongside Keselowski, but they really can't get any further than that. And Blaney getting to the outside of Keselowski. Brad got a bit loose on the exit of turn 4. Ooh. Didn't look like he lost a lot of ground doing that, but yeah, Blaney and Logano are playing really tough on the top side, but they don't have a lot of help behind them. All they've got directly behind them is Corey Heim and Darrell Wallace Jr. They need more cars to jump up there. Just
having a replay of that, what I'm seeing on the monitor there of Brad Keselowski. He's really struggling out there today, isn't he? Really bad control out there. Don't forget, he's racing with recovering from a broken leg. To even be running in 4th position in a duel is absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, Ryan Preece has led so far. Trying to see how many laps in total. 21 of the 27 laps led has been from him this evening. That is an outstanding pace to come into it as they're still pushing hard over over the line now to start lap 28. And now look at this from Brad Keselowski. He's feeling a little bit racy, but he has not got anybody to try and form a line with him. So he has to stay in the low line. He can't go up high and sort of risk losing out the draft, because then he'll have to get a push off of Ryan Blaney. But he is looking for a go. Look at him. He's jumping around a little bit. I think Corey LaJoie's tempted as well.
I think Brad, more than anything, is just trying to do little subtle things to keep those Penske cars behind him, because again, Brad's main objective tonight is to get Corey LaJoie into the Daytona 500. He is going to protect that 99 car, again, a car that he co-owns as best he can. So I think Brad is playing a lot of defense here, just trying to keep Blaney and Logano in that top lane from getting up there, and so far he's doing it. It's just subtle moves, but it's working for him.
Shades of Dale Earnhardt doing it as well for his two boys coming through at the front. That race 25 years ago, and you can stay on Fox for the documentary that's premiering after this race as well. But it's lessons learned from Dale Earnhardt. That's, let's say, you can go from everywhere. How to defend at Daytona, how to block around, because the side draft's now getting more powerful coming in from Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano. They've used Kyle Busch coming into it as well to sort of drag it back up, along with John Hunter Nemechek, and now they're right in the mix again.
Well, this is a perfect situation for Blaney and Logano to learn. They are learning about what to expect Sunday if they try to do this on the top side, but there was a little moving and shaking behind them on the top. Darrell Wallace Jr. got alongside Corey Heim. Wallace has overtaken Heim, but what that did is really hurt the energy on that top line, and Blaney and Logano has fallen back. Busch has cleared them, so again, just that little move from behind has hurt the energy that Blaney and Logano was working with. Now Nemechek's about to get by them as well.
And Logano is pushing the back of Blaney, desperate to trying to find some information out there. We are halfway, 30 down, 30 to go. Logano's all over the back. Chandler Smith's not looking as quick as you think. Look at Logano, the M&M is flashing up, isn't it? That's not even the M&M, what are we on about? It's the little Pennzoil. There's another bump. There's another bump coming through. Tell you what, though, that Pennzoil logo on the front of the car, it does look like an M&M, doesn't it, when it's thrown up? That's famous sponsorship in this series. The Pennzoil getting a little bit too much into it.
Who is going to tell him that?
I can't hear what JT said then.
You need sleep.
Yeah, well, no, it flicked up that little bodywork panel, and it looked like it was an M&M logo.
JB, get back in your TARDIS and come back to 2026.
Look, all I'm saying is I've had 3 hours sleep in the last 24 hours. Anyway, looking good out there. Go for it.
Top line's got three really aggressive and good drafters lined up, Blaney, Logano, and Wallace. They just don't have enough energy on that top line. Nemechek has cleared Blaney. Now Chandler Smith is alongside Blaney too. So like I said, Blaney and Logano and Wallace as well, they are really going to school right now. They are learning what their cars have for Sunday. As frustrating as it might be up there, chopping at this wood on the top lane, they are really doing a lot of learning right now. What they need to happen to try to make that top lane work. But right now, the RFK Fords,
the joint third,
they are not going to bail out on each other. So that is going to be just maybe an unmovable object. It's going to come down to what happens on pit road.
Here we go again then, across that line with 27 laps to go as things currently stand. Ryan Preece leads, Buescher in second, LaJoie third, Keselowski fourth, Busch fifth. Great job out there at the moment. He's completely surrounded. His nearest competitor in his nearest rival, literally shoving 7 bells out of him down that back straightaway.
Just a note quickly.
Go for it.
Chandler Smith has quietly snuck up to 8th place.
Mm-hmm.
That's something to note. I don't know when he got there, but he has just quietly snuck his way up, which is unusual for him, as I don't recall him being particularly a quiet driver.
Yeah, he's aggressive, isn't he?
It's not going to be easy for him to get up to challenge LaJoie, and that's all that matters for Chandler tonight.
Yeah, but look, Ryan, we've got, again, Logano's pushing the back of Blaney.
Yeah. And those pushes are only going to get harder and harder the further this run goes. And Blaney knows that. Again, these two have been teammates for a long time.
Ooh.
They know what to expect from each other. And Blaney knows that he's going to be getting a lot of shots at the back door from Logano.
Right. You see what I mean about the front draft coming up from the Pennzoil bodywork, the anti-flip, anti-spin device? The little AIL, the oil part of Pennzoil, flashes up on the bodywork. That's why, from the camera angle we had looking back here from the back, look, here it is again, look, bang up. Do you see how it looks like the M&M logo?
I am also now learning that oil is spelled with an A.
I said OIL, Pennzoil. Right, if you're going to keep doing that, I'll just sign off and you guys can do it, and then you'll be screwed because I'll just leave you on one screen. So it's up to you if you want. Anyway, as things stand, look at this. Joey Logano's pushing Ryan Blaney absolutely brilliantly because now they're getting a little bit of a help from a likely ally of Bubba Wallace, who's giving them a little shove down the backstretch. Now, finally, they're attacking the side of the 42 of John Hunter Nemechek. Oh, and there goes our camera. Finally, a break.
And someone just jumped up there in front of Blaney. Yes, it's Kyle Busch.
Oh.
So Busch jumps up ahead of Blaney, and they're going to try to break up those 4 RFK Fords, and that's a big head of steam that Busch has. Gets him alongside Keselowski. So that's an extra car supplying energy to that top lane.
It's working. Look at it. They're now starting to drag it through up high line into Speedway 1 and 2. They've got the side draft coming off of Brad Keselowski. Kyle Busch might just be able to be that little traction. He doesn't give up, does he? We saw it last year. Quite a lot of the accidents that he got involved in was because he didn't back out of maneuvers. So Kyle's going to do it. He's getting the push now from the back of Ryan Blaney. Look at that. It was just basically... forget a shove, that's a playground shove. Just off you go, onto the concrete, hard as you like.
And I mean, that's really all that top lane needed. It was 1, maybe 2 more cars to change the pendulum of the energy in that top lane. And now, Busch has cleared Keselowski. He's to the right elbow of LaJoie now. And now that outside line is very organized. William Byron has jumped up there. What is he? He's the 6th car on that outside line. So that's all they needed was 1 or 2 more to jump up there. Now they can start making real gains on the RFK tandem at the top, or on the bottom rather, and now it starts to be game on. But remember, pit stops are coming, and if you're on that outside line, you can't go for the outside to pit road if there's cars below you.
So maybe that's what they're trying to think. Kyle maybe wanted to get ahead and dive into the pit stop onto his own accord, but look at Priest, he's getting a push from the back of Buescher. So, and that's helping as well. Corey LaJoie staying in. So the top 3 now trying to break away at the front. I saw 3 wide, Matthew, coming into Speedway 1. Yeah, 3 wide further back coming into it. That's Logano now under pressure. Coming in, I can't tell who that was. That Byron coming up high?
Wallace.
There's Bubba. He's got the 6-7 of Corey Hyman there. There comes Byron. He's trying to make it 3 wide, but they're sort of filtering down to 2 on the back stretch. Now it's 3 wide.
Really does not want to lose contact with Blaney. Cole Custer's going to get to the back bumper of Logano, but it's really broken up that inside line. Chandler Smith goes backwards. Logano drifts to the bottom. Blaney doesn't go with him, so now Blaney's between the 22 and 23, and now there's all kinds of scrambling going on the exit of turn 4. Blaney got caught out right there.
Yeah, Busch came down low, kind of helped Logano not lose the speed trap. Ryan Blaney's completely a sitting duck right now. He's got Corey Heim on the high line, trying to take him with him as well. But look at Corey, doesn't know he was there. Almost turned into him coming into Speedway 1. That's upset Bubba, and that's upset now Corey Heim as well. So the pair of them dropping back in that 3rd high line. So now that's sort of given a bit of a sacrifice to Ryan Blaney. He's now alone to try and regroup that inside 2nd lane. Bubba Wallace, Corey Heim, and Jimmy Johnson are the only ones running a 3rd lane right now. And they're all filtering back.
Hyman Wallace are teammates, of course, remember, and they need to learn how to work with each other, and that didn't work right there for that tandem. Now Blaney muscling up around the outside once again. He can maybe get up with Logano. Is Logano going to come up in front of him? No, he hasn't done that yet. Across the line with 21 laps to go here in this first qualifying race. Again, pit stops still to come. And I was just thinking about the execution of getting to pit road, then not speeding, stopping on your marks, having a quick stop, leaving pit road with someone to draft with. All of that needs to be perfect for Corey LaJoie and Chandler Smith. because one mistake could knock them out of the Daytona 500. Logano went up to try to get with Blaney. Busch tried to throw a block. He's too late. And Logano and Busch are elbow to elbow on the way to turn 3.
That's now given the top 5 an advantage here as well. Nemechek's got a little bit of a breakaway coming in. Logano is now not battling with Busch. Is he batting with Chandler Smith? Looking at the time screen, trying to work it out. But Blaney's giving him a push now on the high line. So that's trying to work out as we get 20 to go here in Duel 1 at Daytona. And things starting to get a little bit feisty as we throw them all in towards Speedway 1 and 2. This is a lot of fun.
You're probably getting towards the end of your fuel run. We've run about 100 miles now. Next lap will be 100 miles down. So you're getting towards the end of your fuel run. Pit stops are coming soon. Here's Blaney now. Roles reversed on the Penske duo. It's Blaney pushing Logano, and he gave him an almighty shove. A big heave-ho down the straightaway to get Logano alongside Nemechek. But Blaney's got to come off of him in the corner, and they lose all the ground that they made up on the straight.
Not sure, Matthew, but I'll double-check when the camera next time comes round. I think we were very lucky to avoid a caution there. I saw a bit of debris get flown up, but it landed inside the safer barrier on the exit of Speedway 4. So we got very lucky there not to have a caution. It literally landed in the barrier.
And there goes Busch again, jumping from bottom to top to get ahead of those Penske cars. So Busch clearly, he thinks he can be pushed to the front by the Penske duo, but Logano doesn't want to push him. Logano slices to the outside of Busch, and they'll go door handle to door handle back to 3.
Yeah, just saw it. It was a bit of someone's missing some sort of carbon fibre because that's what flew up into this exit Speedway 4. Just saw on the replay. That's a lap behind on the T feed we have up in the box. And look at Ryan Pruitt, still getting a toe then from Buscher. He's coming in with Corey LaJoy, single file, running from the top 6 at least. Maybe even trying behind, trying to work out. Yeah, there's Kyle Busch. It's the top 6. Chandler Smith's been passed by Joey Logano, who's gone the high line. Ryan Blaney's now trying to go with him. The outside line's getting in a bit of a slipstream because it's now getting the toe from the front line. All right, here we go then. Pit time. Who's coming in?
Just cannot get enough momentum built up, but now there's Blaney and Logano diving from top to bottom before they get to turn 3, so that might mean that they come to pit road this lap as they change lanes to the bottom. Let's see.
They don't want to pit under green, do they? That's the problem. Who's coming in?
Might not have a choice.
No one. They've all gone through.
One yet. Again, try to go as long as you possibly can so that pit stop will be as short as possible. So every lap you can click off takes that much more time off of fueling on pit road, because these likely will, if it's under green, these will likely be fuel-only stops. We probably won't see any tires change.
Hearing this time by, I believe, so I don't know if JT's got any graphics to stand by with he wants me to throw to, so I'll get ready on that side of the screen. Are they coming into pit road this time? They're coming through Speedway 3, into Speedway 4, now the tri-oval. No one going through on my driver tracker. Oh, actually, maybe if... No one's gone through.
Well, we'll see how long they can stay out there.
This is bizarre. Never seen them go this long in a duel before. We're going to be with 10 to go. It'll be the white flag and everyone wants to go in.
Got some Chevrolets working together topside. Austin, make that Alex Bowman, gave a really big push to Cole Custer. So... they're still trying to make something happen on the outside, but it's not with Blaney and Logano anymore. Let's see if we see any hands out the windows here. That's normally the telltale side. Yep,
yeah,
there's one.
There we go.
That's Brad Keselowski telling everyone behind him that he's going to pit this time. And if Keselowski's going to pit, I'm going to guess that all of those RFK cars are. They know that they're going to come in together, so I would expect all of these leaders to come in. And look at the gaps that are forming. They are playing this very safe. And now Logano's going to charge to pit road. Oh, we have about... Oh, Casey Mears has hit Noah Gregson. Casey Mears and Noah Gregson spin through the grass. Jimmy Johnson tries to avoid. He has. They have not thrown a caution yet. Casey Mears, one of the open cars, spinning on the approach to pit road and collecting Noah Gregson. And surely a caution will have to come out.
There's the put it out call.
Casey, you've not won the race yet, mate.
And Gregson can't get out.
Oh, he might just live to fight another day. He's managed to find reverse. Well, don't ruin the grass. And now everybody who just pitted under the green has lost out on track position. That's the worst thing to happen. The 47-year-old from Bakersfield, wow.
That might be the best thing to happen to those guys. They got on pit road before the caution came out, so if they completed their stop, it's a legal stop, and they will not have to come back down. They'll be back at the front.
Trying to see if that was completed. JT might be able to give us information. Hang on a minute, I've got them here in the pit stops. I've got the 60, the 17, and the 99, Matthew. They're the only ones who registered a lap of a safe, complete pit stop.
3, 24, 23, 197.
It would be everyone who entered before the caution was called, no?
Well, on our timing, you know, on the
That's my opinion.
there should be.
That's NASCAR ruling.
Yeah, if they didn't panic.
Yeah.
Panic.
Jimmy missed pit road though.
Come to pit road or not go through and complete the stop. So we'll see. But I mean that happens so often. That happens. You've been going around for 100 miles at 180 miles per hour plus, and then have to get it to 55 miles an hour. Plus, you don't run very heavy front brakes here on the super speedway. So you run heavy rear brakes. You try to get on the binders. You lose the rear. That's what happened to Casey Mears there.
Put it out on the front stretch. Matthew, talk us through it. This is why we're under caution.
So this all starts with Casey Mears all the way at the back, and he's just charging to try to get as much as he can. But again, too much rear brake. The rear comes out from underneath him. He spins, and as he tries to correct it, he collects Noah Gregson. Then they got stuck in the grass. I'm not sure. It did rain here yesterday. I was surprised that they couldn't get all the way out. And then, as we said, everybody else that came to pit road,
it's
Logano, Buscher, Keselowski, Blaney, LaJoy, Priest, and Nemechek, they were able to complete their stops, which would have been only fuel-only stops, and Logano beat Buscher on the exit of pit road as well. So Logano is probably going to be the leader of everyone that stopped, and thus will be the leader on the restart.
So that's the way it looks at the moment then as we go back to our caution screen. JT has done a brilliant job, by the way. Pit road, though. Let's go down. JT, it's down to you and the pit road team.
4, 3, don't slide them. 2, 1.
The 41's in. Let's go down. Splash and dash, Cole Costa. The 48, Alex Bowman.
Time stops for fuel.
Looks good. Here's the 8 of Kyle Busch.
Sir Kyle Busch.
He was okay at the exit. Who was the winner off pit road, though? That's the question we need to find out.
Tires on Heim in there, the rookie. Probably a good move, Kev.
Go on, Matthew. What have you got for us?
Looks like it was Dylan that won the race off, and the only one that took tires was Corey Heim, which, as you heard Clint Boyer say, that's probably smart to put tires on for the rookie, have a little bit more maneuverability. So Casey Mears, if I have this right, did Mears fall a lap down? I think he did.
Yes, he did.
If that's the case, then that's basically him done for making the 500.
I think, I really hate to say this, but I think that's fine. Because he caused a couple of cautions last year, and the races he did, he was being lapped anyway. There is a time when you have to hang up your boots a little bit. Take a look at his driver tracker here that JT's just put up for me. He's an open car, said, from Bakersfield, California. One career win, did finish here in Daytona second back in 2006, and did 5 starts last year. And Matthew, you remember that 2006 start?
He was driving the Texaco Haviland number 42 for Chip Ganassi. That was his last year with Ganassi. Finished second in that race, passing Ryan Newman on the last lap. Neither could catch Jimmy Johnson, who went on to win the race that was ran mostly in the mist. But, I mean, that was a lifetime ago, right? That was 20 years ago for Casey.
Heartbreak. Do you mean it's 20 years since Michael Schumacher retired first time round?
Oh my gosh.
I was -2, Matthew.
Thank you, JT. Enough out of you.
I was 1 year old.
Please, okay, Jack, you stop as well.
Don't worry, mate. I was here. Don't worry. I'll save you bacon.
JB from the 1960s, of course.
I remember when it was
And
Sterling
for
Moss.
any new viewers, that is a running joke we have across JBM, that JB is from the 1960s, and the running joke over on the USN side is that JT mentions how old he was when we talk about years.
Into the pits comes the 51.
Yeah,
Candy Ware.
and enough of that, please. Thank you, because again,
JD remembers when the Caesars Palace Grand Prix was a thing.
I remember that 2000. I remember every lap of watching that 2006 Daytona 500. It's the most watched NASCAR race in broadcast TV history. And
Just
you're
a-
over here, oh, I wasn't born yet.
Just a shame it was a terrible commentator.
Oh, you are not taking a shot at Bill Weber, are you?
Just Google the compilation of him slowly getting worse as the season goes on. And that's enough said.
I'll read out from the chat. Someone said, when did Michael Bisping from the UFC start announcing?
I
don't
saw
know.
that comment. I don't know who that is. I'm not a UFC watcher.
Which
The
one?
UFC fighter and commentator,
Would that be-
apparently. He's
would that-
British, so I
Me?
don't know who he's referring to.
Is it me?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Take it as a compliment. Also, we're being told, also Brandon6837 says, you guys do amazing commentating the race. Better than Fox. Unfortunately for you, to let you know, the bar is on the floor.
Ah, wow.
What's happening? What's happened? What on earth? Did they just inflate the jack for the 66 to get him out on off the grass?
He was
Wow.
doing donuts, like he'd won the race.
I have never quite seen that before, but that's how they got Casey out of the grass. Wow. That was impressive.
Josh Henderson is going to join us for the second duel tonight, but Matthew Owens, it's time for Boogity Boogity.
Joey Logano did win the race off of pit road, so he is the control car in the restart. Chris Buescher to his left elbow. Green flag up in the air. Final 11 laps of the first Daytona 500 qualifying race. So it's changed at the front here a bit. The RFK cars are not together nose to tail as they've been the whole race. Penske cars are at the top side of the racetrack, and they race into turns 1 and 2. Buescher and Keselowski, along with LaJoy, on the bottom of the track trying to get to the front where they've been the entire race. Logano gets close on the exit of turn 2 on a shove by Blaney. They take it wide off of 2, and Chandler Smith going to the middle, trying to make moves to race his way into the Daytona 500. He's alongside LaJoy. Those are the 2 open cars racing for a spot in the 500. 99 LaJoy, 36 Smith, and they're nose to tail.
And it was Chandler Smith who touched the side of Ryan Preece, who got loose, and now he's on the outside line. Logano's getting loose as well. He's getting a tap by his teammate as well, just behind him, Ryan Blaney. But Logano went super wide out of 1, dragged out with Blaney. Is he going to do the same mistake for a second time? Bush is keeping that low line in through Speedway 1 and 2. It's 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. It's Noah's Ark as they come through at the back, and Logano's getting a push down the back straight from Ryan Blaney. That's exactly what he wants to intend to go.
And the game has changed so much with Chandler Smith latching onto the Penske cars. He is alongside Corey LaJoy. That is the race to get into the Daytona 500 with Casey Mears falling a lap down. LaJoy's got a nose in front of Smith as they race in the 3rd row of cars. Now the outside goes again. Blaney harpoons the bumper cover of Logano. Logano will go to the lead. Smith is ahead of LaJoy.
Oh, we're going to come up to Combot's cam to see the reactions on this one, because look at that. Bush is getting loose as well. Keselowski is just tapping the back end of him. Now we're starting to get it. Remember, this is the first points-paying opportunity of the 2020 season, when the points matter so much more than in previous years. And look at this. Massive push down the back. Blaney getting right up there with Logano, and Bush is getting a push from Keselowski, and he's getting loose into 3. How did he not spin out Logano?
Amazing save by Buescher. He had Keselowski giving a huge heave-ho on the bumper cover. And again, LaJoy and Smith side by side for that final spot to make the 500. Again, Blaney pushes Logano clear to the lead. Now will Logano come down? No, he hasn't yet. And it's 8
Keselowski.
laps to go. 8 more laps of this drama.
They're pushing Logano. Feels like he's piggy in the middle. He tries to come down low, but look at the side draft from Chris Buescher coming through Speedway 1. He's got no one to push him down the straight. He's waiting for Keselowski to come back, but Blaney gets to Logano first. And now Keselowski's the only one pushing Buescher, whereas now look
at
Chandler Smith is pushing them both at the front. He's pushing Logano and Blaney.
Look at Smith, how much he's pulled away from LaJoy. If Chandler Smith could get down, he would be in the same lane as LaJoy. Can he get down ahead of Keselowski? No, he cannot.
Oh, but he
might
might
be in a good spot as it is. He's latched onto the Penske cars. Chandler Smith in third position might be racing his way into the Daytona 500 for the first time in his career.
Yeah, but Busch is now getting a shove from the back of
And look, Kyle
Keselowski.
Busch.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch has sensed that it's all going to go wrong. He's going to take that car that's on the pole and take it to the very back of the field. He doesn't want to get involved in a wreck. He's seen enough.
Yeah.
Back to the back goes Kyle.
That's a wise move because with 7 to go, you don't, even if it's 10 points, these guys are fighting like it is the Daytona 500 and the final 7 laps. Look at Logano, he's getting a push like crazy. Blaney's in there too, but Chandler Smith's trying to go on the inside. Blaney comes down low to block, and that's allowing Buescher to go up high and pick up the back from Austin Dillon, and he almost puts him in the wall. Keselowski's looking left. Keselowski's on the double. Keselowski hits the side of Chandler Smith, and Smith backs off.
Yeah, Chandler's got to watch out. He's not going to get any help from those RFK cars. They're trying to get LaJoy in. Meanwhile, at the front, Austin Dillon breaks ranks. He nosedives to the bottom of the racetrack. He gets around Blaney. He's alongside Logano.
Oh!
Dillon going for the lead, and Chandler Smith falling back away from Corey LaJoy.
Bowman hit the wall coming out of turn 2. He just knocked it. No caution. It's dropped him back. Look at Austin Dillon getting a push from Chris Buescher. Blaney's now had to let Logano go a bit. He's going to have to be saved by Bubba Wallace on the outside line. Byron's in there as well. He's battling with Corey LaJoy, who's now getting left out. Look at the shove that Byron gave Wallace, who gives Blaney, who gives Logano. They're 2 car lengths ahead.
And the inside line holds up, and that's going to allow Smith to get by LaJoy again. That inside line got pushed back as they lost energy. The top lane advances, and look at Darrell Wallace Jr. in turn 1 with a massive run.
He's done it
inside
again.
of Blaney, inside of Logano. Wallace guns it to the lead.
He's done it again, just like in the first duel last year. He's going to go for back-to-back
Here comes
wins.
Logano.
Oh, the contact! Bubba's off! Bubba's off! He spun, and the big one has happened! Byron's around! Buescher's around!
Chandler Smith!
Smith's
Chandler
in
Smith,
it!
I think!
Yes, but
Oh,
he's got away with it!
Chandler's in it!
He's got away with it! He's got away with it! How on earth did he get away with
Too
that?
much damage there.
He slammed on the brakes. I think there's a bodywork, maybe bumper. Bubba got spun around, and somehow Logano caused all that. I think he's still in the lead of the race. Wow!
Oh, my
Oh,
gosh.
there is damage. You're right. There is too much damage. Oh.
He'll be all right, you know, to be honest.
It's
That'll be
only
all right.
They're
Definitely
keep
going to be able to finish. That's.
Yeah,
I think it's just like
only
cosmetic
damage
bodywork
to the
damage.
fitter, I think. He's just gonna have to come to pit road, do what they can, and keep going. You can't
Oh,
not
Byron.
continue. Yeah, Byron
done.
with broken suspension, crab walking back to the garage. That was bound to happen. What amazing racing we got there for about 6 or 7 laps.
Well,
Holy cow!
that's got to be on
Fantastic.
Logano. I want to see a replay. Logano came down low to block. Here it is again, look. So what happens? Watch, there's Bubba Wallace straight ahead. Look at Logano. He's going to get a shove from Ryan Blaney on the outside. Bubba's so far ahead. Logano's just going to come down. Oh, and it's Austin Dillon who gets into the side. He gets
bad
loose.
push.
Yeah, it's Dillon. Logano's completely innocent in that. So from one camera angle we were looking on board with Austin Dillon, it looked like it was Logano who touched him. But that was just a coincidence because Blaney pushes Logano. That gives Logano a little tap. At the same time, Dillon pushes the back of Wallace. He gets wide, and then everyone just shunts in behind them. So he's completely not on Logano. It's completely on Austin Dillon.
Yeah, it was just, and like you said, Jack, it's just a bad push, but at this point of the race, you've got to take that push when you have a chance. But the roof flaps did an amazing job keeping that 23 car on the ground because it looked for a moment like it might get lifted up. But Wallace stayed on the ground. Thankfully, it's all paved down there. No more grass.
Keselowski got lucky.
Tumble.
Watch Keselowski. He got so lucky.
And really, it's not even that bad of a push from Dillon as much as it's a push from Buescher into Dillon, which propels him into Wallace.
How did that car not flip over?
Yeah, they've done great work on these cars to keep them from getting airborne.
Yeah, apparently, JB, you sound just like Michael Bisping, apparently. Apparently, that's not a diss.
He says that's not a diss. And I
Fantastic.
enjoy I enjoy how whoever that is commenting. But by the way, hello. I've never seen you on the USN comments. The name is Sam Owens. Of course, my last name is Owens. My mother's name is Samantha, so that used to be her name, was Sam Owens.
Hey, sure it's not your mother. Just on a burner account.
Yeah, I guarantee you my mother doesn't know who Michael Bisping is.
Oh, I just went to that screen and JT, I think, turned it off on the screen there. I was just pressed at the same time. That was quite a coincidence.
Happened?
I don't know. I pressed the button and you turned it off at the same time. So
No, I pressed 2 buttons at once and it didn't like it.
Ah, okay. Well, let me know when it's on and I'll flick back to the list of out on that little run around.
There we go.
Right, okay, Matthew, JT, talk us who's out.
Just as I mute my microphone, nice one. Right, they've changed the order of it, so they have the list as cars involved: Austin Dillon, Chris Buescher, Bubba Wallace Jr., or Darrell Wallace Jr., as Matthew likes to call him. Doesn't like calling him Bubba.
It's either Darrell Wallace Jr. or Bubba Wallace, but it can't be Bubba Wallace Jr. because there isn't a Bubba Wallace Sr.
It is 1 a.m. in the morning, Matthew Owens. William Byron and Chandler Smith.
JT?
And my beautiful graphic, which got made in like 5 minutes, which looks like, I'm gonna be honest, looks like something you would have over a interstate, highway, or motorway.
It does.
On one of those rolling
I've
boards.
written a PowerPoint personally in school.
It's quite nice. I like it. JT,
It was not made in PowerPoint.
if you're that tired, get in your TARDIS and go back a couple of hours.
You're so funny.
Gosh.
So God, I'm broken.
Someone needs to tell Josh Henderson, if we haven't already, that the camera that we're watching JB on isn't broadcasting live.
Yeah, we should also. This is the Comcam, Josh, in case you're wondering.
You can see JB reviewing VAR.
Tell you what, what is it? We
No go.
What VAR? If you're not quiet, I'll give you devil horns. I've got the tablet to do so.
Jeez.
Josh Henderson, welcome to a NASCAR broadcast, our new lead commentator as well. How you doing, my friend?
Good. First week of university done of the second year, so getting through it.
Matthew, I'm very much looking forward to working with you during the broadcast as well. You'll be with us for the second event, and you're leading the Truck Series broadcast tomorrow. That's even more exciting.
Looking forward to that. Of course, Tony Stewart returning to the Truck Series for the first time in many, many years, and first time to NASCAR since 2016. So, looking forward to seeing how Tony ends up going. But yeah, you guys were just calling that wreck, and man, I feel like it's one of those things with the Duels at Daytona. It's way too early in the weekend to be making those sort of mistakes. Only 10 points on offer for the race win anyway, so it's a little too early in the weekend to be making those sort of bad pushes, I guess.
Oh, just got completely loose on it. And I feel sorry for Bubba because he could have had 2 in a row for Duels. And we saw how much it meant last year to him. He brought his daughter out into the tri-oval and got the checker flag. This was Dylan as soon as that incident happened. Remarkable. He just kept his wheels completely straight there. Didn't change much.
By the way, in that truck race tomorrow, he has 2 career Truck Series wins. They both come at the same track many, many, many years ago.
Fully Daytona.
He won at Richmond in 2002 and 2003.
Yeah.
Driving for Andy Petrie when Andy Petrie was a car and truck owner.
Oh, there you go.
Guys, would you say Chris Bush has got to go to a backup car?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Byron.
Yes, probably.
Oh,
That's a big blow for that William Byron team, though. That Daytona 500 on the line, and yep, she's all she wrote for that team.
Chandler Smith,
at this point.
by the way, just to let you know, I have an update on his damage. He says he doesn't have a tyre rub, but he is dragging the splitter, which that will affect his aero. However, he says the handling of the car feels totally fine.
Just want to point
Yeah,
out.
here's his problem though. He had to come to pit road and he's being scored 19th. That is 15 positions behind Corey LaJoie. And as we just saw, as we've seen the entire race, and as we've seen in that last run when the RFK cars totally bailed out on Smith, those RFK cars are not going to allow Corey LaJoie to get stuck out of a line. So Chandler's going to need a miracle here to get up and pass Corey in what will be just 2 laps as we go to overtime.
Overtime in a duel. Whatever next. I thought we might get rid of this, but no, gotta just keep going. Does that mean...
overtime still gives me nightmares after Phoenix. I can tell you that much.
God, I agree with you there. And you were there, weren't you, in Phoenix?
I was. Yeah, that was the most disastrous 3 laps I've ever seen in my life.
May I introduce you to Abu Dhabi 2021?
1 lap.
See that was 1 lap, but yeah, arguably both practically the same sort of circumstances, and yet one was a lot more legit than the other one based on the system.
I felt worse actually leaving the NASCAR booth that day than I did the Abu Dhabi commentary box. I felt very much like it was taken away from Denny that way. What on earth is JT up to? Is JT doing something on the... Oh no, I thought he was doing something on the battle screen. You know, the little chat.
No, he needs to tick off a spot on the bingo card. One just got used.
Was it Abu Dhabi 21?
No.
Oh, what was it? What did I say?
I haven't actually got that open. I've got... I can get it open if you want.
You got enough stuff open. Don't worry about the bingo card, please.
Something that I can get up is that I can tell you that your free pass is
Casey Mears.
No,
and that is important in case anything does happen to LaJoie here on this restart. Mears is actually ahead of Smith. He's 16th. So again, anything can happen.
Just want to...
This was best case scenario for the RFK cars, though, wasn't it? I mean, all 4 cars of theirs in the duel, 3 of them out to help Corey LaJoie bring himself a Daytona 500 starting spot.
Only 3 now. Bush is out.
Yeah.
Could not be more fortunate to have gotten all 4 of them in the same race to help Corey. So, all right. Here we go. Overtime. JB, you want to explain to everyone that's new how overtime works?
Oh,
I know you love it so much.
Throwing me under the bus, right, are you? 2 laps, green. If the leader takes the white flag, the next flag ends the race no matter what it is. But if we get a yellow flag caution, on that 2 to go, we can attempt again. We can literally go multiple times. So
the record's 5 overtimes.
Yeah, that was a fun night, wasn't it?
In Nashville, I think, which ended up being won by Joey Logano.
I almost
bashed another race that was also taken away by Denny Hamlin, incidentally. Just going to point that one out.
Almost bashed my head against the wall on that one. Oh, cool, they're coming to the line.
Joey Logano control car chooses the outside lane to start in. Brad Keselowski to his left elbow. They each have teammates right behind them. Blaney behind Logano. LaJoie behind Keselowski. Keselowski with a hand out the window telling LaJoie to push. Green flag up in the air. Overtime begins here in this first Daytona 500 qualifying race. And on the initial start through the gearbox, it's the Penske cars that get through it quickest. Logano and O's in front. Up on the top of the 31 degrees of banking. But now here come the RFK cars thrusting back on the bottom. Brad Keselowski takes the lead. Corey LaJoie behind him second. Then Daniel Suarez and Shane Van Gisbergen as they flash past Lake Lloyd on the back straightaway. Here we go. Who's going to win the race? Who's going to make it into the Daytona 500 as LaJoie pushes Keselowski ahead by a nose as they hit turn 3.
Austin Dillon almost caused it again. He pushed Blaney on the back straight and got him loose. Logano doesn't get a toe. He's got a side draft off of Keselowski. Corey LaJoie just needs to play it cool here. Let the Penskes go. It's not that important. You want to be in the race. White flag in the air. Next flag will end this first duel, and it's Logano by a country mile, but Dillon's getting a push behind Blaney and almost turns into Keselowski. How's Keselowski doing this, Matthew, with a broken leg? He's going for the win! He's going for the win!
Yeah, and he better watch out here because he's got Corey behind him with no teammate help. Suarez could bail on Corey LaJoie, but there's no advancement from Casey Mears or Chandler Smith. John Hunter Nemechek comes down, nearly got into Keselowski.
Oh, there we go again!
It's LaJoie! It's LaJoie! Casey Mears goes by him. Casey, caution is out. I think Casey Mears is going to go to the 500. Oh, my goodness.
It's Mears. He got it.
Casey Mears.
And the checkered flag is out. Joey Logano will win Duel 1 here at Daytona with Ryan Blaney in second. It took a while, but the Penske Fords have done it, and it will be, out of everybody surprised, Casey Mears goes to the 500. Wow! He's seventh overall.
Oh, my God. That is...
I said don't be an
Unreal.
idiot, and he was an idiot.
Not.
Oh my,
We'll
that
say.
is absolutely incredible.
I'm so happy for that Garage 66 team, though. They're such a small operation compared to the other two.
He was
Really
out.
happy to see him go through.
That's what NASCAR is.
CG6.
Go on.
CG6.
Yeah, SVG up to P6. He says he can't race on an oval.
Right.
Highest finish.
I cannot believe that thing came unraveled for RFK. They had LaJoy in a spot to advance all night long, and it all goes away with under half a lap to go.
Oh, where's the
And
caution light?
Casey Mears is going to make career start 495 on Sunday.
Oh, hello.
Because even if the caution light, even if they're saying that Mears had not gotten past LaJoy at the time of caution, it doesn't matter because LaJoy did not keep caution pace.
Yeah, doesn't matter. He is out of it. Well, I'm surprised about old Baldy. He's got 10 points and now he leads the championship. That's a surprise.
Waiting for it to be official so far.
Yeah, unofficial results. Logano, Blaney, Dillon, Nemechek, Kozlowski, Van Gisbergen, Mears in 7th. Suarez 8th. How about that for the guy who got booted out of Trackhouse? Priest and Bowman in the top 10. We're waiting.
I think they just made it official, too, on Casey.
Look at the damage. He's in.
Well, now, he was in the wreck. Like, he went up and into the wall and into the back of someone driving through the wreck. He just kept going.
Here we go. Here, let's have another look at it again.
So Casey here, he's all the way, he's the very last car in frame here to the right of your screen if you're watching. And watch, he's going to get into the wall and into somebody, but he's going to drive through it. Look at him. Oh, my God. Wow!
He hits the back of the
throttle.
He hit the back of Suarez. No wonder he ended up ahead of him. He hit the back of Suarez, and that's given Suarez a rear puncture. Look, you can see.
Oh my God! Full-on cold trickle move.
You can see Suarez getting the rear right puncture. Casey Mears will go through to the 500, carrying the biff. Wow! Look at that! I just got through. I caused a caution, but I got through.
Insane. Oh my God!
2 crashes, he's through. What do you make of that one,
Just say
JT?
quickly.
Yeah, go on, Jack.
As the definition of, you know, the guy who said, "I'm not gonna lift until I see God or a checkered flag." That was what Casey Mears did there. He was the guy who just did not lift whatsoever. Just full throttled around everyone. Massive for Casey.
I can say at the time of the caution light, he was ahead of. He was ahead of Corey LaJoy. Yes, he was there.
And I mean, we went the whole night with
Chandler
LaJoy
Smith.
in a spot to advance. Then Chandler Smith got brought into it. Never tonight was Casey Mears ever in a spot to race in the 500. He was a lap down at one point, remember? Got the free pass on the previous caution. And meanwhile, in victory lane, for the fourth time, I beg your pardon, Joey Logano has won his Daytona 500 qualifying race.
When's the next one? 45 minutes past. Are we going to delay that again?
We'll probably have that a bit delayed.
Oh, of course it would be. Of course it would be, because of course I need sleep, and of course I'm not going to get sleep, am I? Oh, this is going to be a long day for me. Right, bear in mind, viewers, I've had 3 hours sleep. I'm facing now less than 3 hours sleep if I'm having to do a 9-hour broadcast in the commentary box, then a further 3-hour broadcast. and then a further couple of hours of broadcasting until 3 a.m. the previous night. So I'm not going to have the best time. 6 hours across 72 days is not a very good sleep pattern coming in.
Hold on. You've only had 6 hours in 72 days. Are you human?
72 hours.
Are you human?
No. Let's go down to the pits. Joey Logano.
Race got really exciting at the end there. How were you able to make the right moves to hold them off?
Just a lot of teamwork all the way through. I think about the 22 team in particular. Nick Hensley, our gas man, did a fantastic job getting us positioned off of pit road. Coleman Presley up on the roof giving me great information, and then my teammate Ryan Blaney being committed and working together. So the whole plans, everything's nice when everything works out the way it's supposed to, and just got a great team around me. I got a great Ford Mustang, and it's great to see this yellow and red Ford Mustang back in victory lane. It's a lot of partners have been sticking with us for a long period of time, and have one back at the shop. It's a great place to start the season here.
Looking for your second 500 win on Sunday in the Daytona 500, excuse me. Did you learn what you need to learn on this 22 car as it especially got down to the end of the race, but even earlier on?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some things I want to work on. There's no doubt, but it's always like that. But I do think we have a strong race car. It's obviously a fast race car. We proved that tonight. So that's a good piece. You got to have speed. We'll work on some handling pieces, but I feel like we're pretty close.
Joey Logano wins dual race number 1 in Daytona.
Thanks, Regan. Now, the delay in figuring out which of the race-in cars made it had to do with whether or not all 3 of them were deemed involved in that crash. Jamie.
And Casey Mears and this little team that could, they get it done. It's official. I don't even know where to start with that, but take us through those last moments and how you ended up here.
Well, I mean, probably a little bit of power of prayer. There's a lot of that going on in the car, and just couldn't thank everybody enough for getting us here to begin with. But yeah, I had an issue on pit road, and I got to run around the outside, and I figured I'd just stay in the gas no matter what happened. And when I saw him spinning and I missed the first guy, I thought, okay, good. Then I hit the 99 that I hit square. Anyway, I hit somebody square, and I knew when I hit him flat, it didn't tear up the car too much, and I was going to be able to get back. But I didn't know who was in front of me still. And then all the guys started going nuts on the radio. So I want to say hi to Trish and the kids back home. I can't believe we're here based on our night and the way that it went. I want to thank Car Security Systems, SI Yachts, the Gracie Foundation, most of all, Bob Germain. I mean, this guy's stepped up and put me here.
Unbelievable. This team, 10 people on this car. Carl Long, how do you guys get here, and how do you move forward to Sunday? You got a shot at this now.
It's a really good question. I don't know exactly what the rules are or how they sit. I don't know what's repairable on this and what isn't. I think we do have another car that we plan to take to Atlanta. In case we didn't make the show, we'd have something ready to go for Atlanta. Maybe we can get that ready. I don't even know what the rules are. I just know that we made it. The car's damaged. We got to figure it out. I'm just really happy to be here.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Oldest driver in the field at age 47, and I think everybody who's been in racing for a long time has got to be happy for Casey Mears. What a way to make the race.
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know. I feel like I am, but I'm not 100% on it. JT, you've got the list of how they were out, so I'll pass down to you.
Thank you. Yes, cars involved in that last lap overtime wreck. The 1 of Ross Chastain, the 7 of Daniel Suarez, the 16 of AJ Allmendinger, the 66 of Casey Mears, but he also made the show, and the 99 of Corey LaJoie. Who is going through results is the main question.
Well, I'm eating, so Matthew.
They probably aren't official yet, I would guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wait for post-race inspection before confirming anything, but that takes hours.
But we always read out the unofficial results. We've done it for years. So who's doing unofficial results?
Okay, well, I'll take that. So, Joey Logano, the winner of the first Daytona 500 qualifying race, 4th time he's won his duel. Ryan Blaney finishes 2nd. That's High Point, North Carolina's Ryan Blaney, JT. Austin Dillon sneaking in to finish 3rd. 4th was Brad Keselowski. He's got to feel just as heartbroken as anyone because his car in Corey LaJoie does not make it. John Hunter Nemechek finishing 5th for the Legacy Motor Club team, taking the Dollar Tree Toyota into the top 5, just as he was at the end of the 500 last year. Shane Van Gisbergen finishing in 6th. 7th was Casey Mears, racing his way into the Daytona 500 at age 47. 8th place finisher was Daniel Suarez, the one that Mears ran into on the last lap. Ryan Preece ends up finishing 9th after leading basically the entirety of the race, and 10th was Alex Bowman. Bowman rounding out the top 10. Rest of the finishers, Noah Gregson finished 11th after his... So both of the cars involved in that pit road crash come back to finish 7th and 11th. Cole Custer finishes 12th for the Haas Factory team. 13th to Darrell Wallace Jr. 14th to Corey Heim. 15th place finisher was Jimmy Johnson. 16th was Chandler Smith. What a disappointing way to end the race for Chandler. It looked like he may have been able to race his way in. It didn't happen for him at the end. Cody Ware comes home 17th. Kyle Busch, as we documented, fell out of the pack just to protect his car, and the way it turned out, it was a great decision by KB as he finishes 18th, last car on the lead lap. And then drivers that did not make it to the checkered flag. 19th was Corey LaJoie, who will not race on Sunday. 20th, AJ Allmendinger, as JT mentioned, involved in that crash, as was Ross Chastain, who finished 21st. And then the final 2 finishers involved in the first crash of the night, 22nd, William Byron, and 23rd, Chris Buescher. That's how they finished unofficially in qualifying race number 1.
Cheers, boys. Let's head down then and join the boys at Fox as we get ready for the second duel here at Daytona.
Race go, and as he was trying to push Blaney, they really couldn't make any ground up. Then all of a sudden, when those cars got reversed and Blaney got behind him, it seemed like they were able to do that. So those guys will go back, work on that a little bit. It's so much fun. We were just talking as we're standing here, though, to see the excitement of Victory Lane and being here and see how excited. You see Paul Wolf's kids right there standing on the side of the trophy. What a great moment for all of them.
Yeah, it's definitely a great moment for that 22 team. What else did we learn from that duel? I think we saw how strong those RFK cars can be.
Well, I mean, yeah, working together as a group, obviously, but then it's crazy how it can all unfold when it comes down to the end. And Clint, I think, referenced that during the race. You know, like all bets are off as you get down to the end of this. It's easy to work together at the beginning as those guys are trying to put themselves in the right position with maybe saving a little bit of fuel to make that pit stop shorter, as Larry explained. Man, when it gets down to the end, it's just everyone goes for it. And as you sit back, for those guys that watched this race from the motorhomes or from the transporters, you see how calm it is and then how just chaos breaks out at the end.
Yeah, and I think about how exciting it has to be for Casey Mears and that team.
Oh.
You know, when Jamie doing the interview, talk about 10 people on the team. Casey saying, you know, like, I don't know what it's going to take if this car can get ready. Do we need to go to a backup or what? But the point is to make the show, and he made the show.
Yeah, and I talked to Casey earlier today over in the Truck Series garage, and he talked about trying to get to that 500 start and the struggles with this team and the resources they have. And I think it's hard for us to express the deficit or how far behind they are compared to a lot of these other teams. But when you come here, it's kind of an equalizer, right? We talk about not that anybody can win at these tracks, but it really opens it up. Really happy for Casey. He's my teammate for years at Chip Ganassi Racing, and I know you can just tell how excited he is getting out of the car.
For sure. All right, let's check in with Jamie Little, who's with Brad Kay.
Well, Brad Keselowski pretty much ran up front all race long, ended up 4th. Best laid plans. You guys were doing your darndest to get your 4th driver in there in Corey LaJoie. Take us through kind of what happened there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, we did everything we said we were going to do. We got our 4 cars to the front, ran really hard, and executed a pretty good pit cycle. And then just on the restart, kind of all hell broke loose, and things kind of got separated, and looked like Ryan Preece got shuffled, and then we couldn't keep the bottom lane super tight the way I wanted to, and there was a wreck down the backstretch, and that got the 17 car. Then at the end, I'm not really sure what happened. Like somebody got in the back of Corey, which was really disappointing. We were in spot to get him in the race, and to go from having 4 cars in control of the race to 3 of them torn up and only one of them in the top 5 is quintessential Daytona.
Quintessential Daytona. But what is not quintessential Daytona is you being here with a broken leg, 8 weeks removed. How did it feel overall your first time back?
Yeah, the car, being in the car feels great. Walking to and from the car, not so much. But you know, the seats in these cars, you know, kind of mold their body, which helps. And, you know, the seat is my home, you know, and it feels good.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Joey Logano celebrating the winner of Duel number 1. We're getting set for Duel 2. Stay with us.
Yeah, getting ready for Duel number 2 to come up shortly as well. Jack, just quickly, what were your thoughts then on the first Duel overall? Then Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney really worked hard in order to try and get to the front, and it paid off with a good time in the fuel stop. They got lucky, I think, though, on the caution.
I identify as Jack, as he's deafened. Good Duel 1. Little bit chaotic towards the end, but as we normally see in previous, well, the last year or two, Duel 1, normally the calmer one, we saw that for the first 47 laps of it. Well, 46, the first caution lap was lap 47, so, and that was coming into the pits. So if they didn't have to come into the pits, who knows how long we would have gone no caution free. I see that Josh Henderson unmuted, so I'm going to open the floor.
Yeah, this is not going to get confusing at all with 3 Joshes in the commentary box. So, Josh, what did you make of that first Duel of the night?
Look, it really goes back to what I was saying a little bit earlier after that first wreck. Is you've really got to be careful with those bad blocks, those egregious pushes, and that's the one key thing about super speedway racing in NASCAR is that it's going to happen. It's going to happen constantly, but doing it in the first 2 Duels at Daytona is not the place to be doing it, especially considering if you have a good qualifying car the day previous. And it comes to the fact that you want to have a good car for Sunday's Daytona 500. If your car is wrecked in Duel 1 or Duel 2 because you had a bad push or a bad block, then unfortunately that is the name of the game, and you may actually lose out on a good opportunity to win the Daytona 500 by going up to a backup car. And now a lot of these teams are going to have to do that just from that first Duel alone. So we'll see how that affects the second Duel, see if they race any a little bit cleaner, but certainly going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I think at least 3 cars maybe having to go to a backup. Certainly we're going to see Chris Buescher. Sounds like we're going to see Casey Mears go in 4-1, so that'll drop him way back down the order. JT, I think commiserations for Bubba Wallace. He was so close to another Duel victory. We saw how much it meant to him last year, and again, just got too close out of it.
Yep, just got unlucky. Did Bubba, and unfortunately not played out the way he wanted to. I just saw in the corner of my eye the checkered board go from checkered to purple, so that must mean that the timing screens have reset.
It has.
So
we've got the grid for Duel 2 lined up, so we'll do that.
I will start the process now of resetting all of the boards because it takes around 20 seconds.
And then
whenever Matthew comes back, we can do it. Let's go to Logano and Blaney Jones.
Unfortunately, the end of the races will come down to that, and it's something that I think probably everyone's going to go back and try to figure out how to get better. But Ryan did a fantastic job with me, working together, working at Team Penske mentality. So it's cool to be both in here in Victory Lane together.
So it looked like to me as I watched you guys when you were pushing Ryan, you guys were aggressive at not making a lot of ground up. Then you switched, and when you got behind, it seemed like you could push up to the front. Did you feel that way in the car?
I think it's multiple things go into that. Like when we were lined up and I was leading, like we were still a little fuel save going on. Joey didn't have a lot of help behind him. It was kind of soft, so we didn't really go anywhere, And then when we flipped, and it was at the end of the race, then it really started to, you get more help in the third lane and things like that. But it's just nice to know this stuff. I mean, this is the closest you're going to get to the 500 of your car's handling, and we kind of just can go from here.
So the other thing that I observed is that it seemed like every time the lead was taken on the outside, almost every time, and as soon as the leader got the lead, they'd go to the bottom and then lose it. Why? Like, what's the feeling out there? Why?
Yeah, I mean, when, before the green-white checkered, you know, we had control of the middle lane. And, you know, Joey and me would get clear into one a couple times, and I was fine giving the bottom up because we figured the middle would surge again, and, you know, help would come to me by the middle of 1 and 2, and then we would just really motor down the backstretch. So I think it's just lane preference. You know, what does your car do good in what lane, and what lane is going to have the momentum. And it seemed like on the bottom, all those wrecks came from there because they knew they had to push hard to keep up with the middle. So I think we made a good choice of just staying where we were and knowing and not being impatient, just knowing it would come back to us.
Yep. For you now, you got this information, right, from being out there, from being able to work with your teammates. So what do the next couple days look for you and Paul Wolf as you guys, you know, figure everything out?
I mean, we already started debriefing some here in Victory Lane, talking about you know, some things that we want better in our race cars. You know, I think they got speed. We proved that, which is a key piece to have at Daytona. But, you know, like they said already, the pushability, you want to, you know, everyone's going to want to work on that some. So at this point, you know, let's polish it back up. You know, we got a couple practice sessions, and we'll, you know, try to work on some things to make the handling a little bit better. Because, you know, Daytona 500 is in the daytime, right? It's the nighttime right now. It's as much grip as the track's going to have. So, you know, whatever you got tonight will be worse on Sunday. So, you know, you got to go to work a little bit and, you know, like I said, for the whole field, because right now it's pretty sketchy out there. You know, for a race that we all say, let's take care of it and make sure we keep the same car, there's a lot of wrecks.
Yeah.
So, you know, it just says how out of control the field is.
You know what wasn't sketchy? We got to hang out on a boat earlier today with your teammate, Austin Cindric, a feature that'll be on race day on Sunday.
Nice plug, Josh.
But, hey, you know.
Man. I think Josh is trying to say that he's good luck, and we need to do it.
Yeah. I'm just throwing it out there and seeing what works.
You just throwing the line out there?
Hey, Joey Logano, Brian Blaney, always appreciate your time. Let's check in with our pit reporter, Regan Smith.
Corey LaJoie was able to race his way into the Daytona 500 1 year ago. Looked like you were going to be able to do the same thing again this year, Corey. Talk me through what happened at the end of the back straightaway there and the disappointment.
It looked good for 149.5 miles. I thought we controlled the race as good as you can control it. The bottom lane got soft there, and the push came right at the same time. I kind of picked the 6 up, and it just hooked me to the right. And it sucks, man, because these guys worked incredibly hard on this car. I'm honestly happy for Casey Mears and Carl Long. It's cool those guys got in, but I'm devastated, man. It's this is what you work for, and I don't have another one after this. So who knows what's going to come up? You know, I thought the Lord brought me this opportunity, but sometimes the Lord works in mysterious ways. And we're not going to quit. We're going to keep pressing and see what lies ahead, because I don't know. Truck race tomorrow, I do know that, so we'll have some fun there. But man, it really sucks.
All right, thanks, Corey.
Tough break for, of course, Corey LaJoie, but Joey Logano gets to celebrate as he'll have good starting position for the Daytona 500 on Sunday.
Can I ask the obvious question? Why has he gone bald?
Yeah, I would love to know the same thing, given he was getting hair treatment and it looked fine for like 3 years, and now it's all gone.
I mean, do you have to go bald before you get a hair extension?
I will say this. I know one person that does the hair plug transplants, and he says it's the most painful thing that he's gone through in his life. And you have to do it over and over again because it's not just one time fix all. So maybe he just didn't want to go through that pain over and over, which, you know, God bless him.
There we go. I was worrying about my hairline after early on in the program, and now hearing that, I know I'm never going to book a holiday to Turkey. Actually, that's a lie. I might get the teeth done. They're still giving me a lot of jip.
But I don't have to worry about that for many years yet.
Well, I'm not that old. I have very thin hair. My hair's
Are we
very,
going to go
very
through
thin.
another conversation about our ages?
Yes. Look, I just like to point out my hair is it's very thin, so it doesn't help with headphones. You sort of get a pattern coming
Well, now,
through.
I was blessed with very thick hair, thank God.
Yes.
That's one of the family traits that I got that I like.
JT said it's alopecia hair loss condition for Joey Logano. That's
yeah,
why.
it was a hair loss condition, and that's why I did the hair plug. So I think they call it hair plug. I don't know. Thankfully, I don't know all that much about that.
Thing is, though, my hair, as I think, Matthew, you know, it grows very, very long if I wanted to. You've seen me with very long hair in the commentary box. But I like it short. Plus, I don't think my girlfriend, one, being a hairdresser, and two, being very picky about her own hair colour, would like it if I had longer hair than her at some point. So she's threatened to go bald. She is. She threatens to go bald. I threaten to shave the beard. It's sort of a to and fro. Anyway, let's get into the action. What do we think we're going to see then, Matthew, from duel number 2? Briscoe on pole, Hamlin alongside, and everyone I think is going to be rooting for Denny.
Well, Well, easy for me to get my words out. Wow. It is going to be interesting to see how these teams go about it, because normally, like we said, back in my day, the first race was always the wild one, and then the second one, the guys in the second race just watched it and said, well, we don't need to do that. It was a pretty tame second race. That's how it used to be. But, I mean, you look at this field. We talked about how fortunate RFK was to have all 4 of their cars in that first race. Same has happened here in the second race with Joe Gibbs Racing. All 4 of their cars are in this second race: Briscoe, Hamlin, Gibbs, and Bell. You're going to have 2 Hendrick cars and Larson and Elliott. In fact, that's the top 6 on the grid: 4 Gibbs cars and the 2 Hendrick cars. So you're going to have establishment and speed up front to start this race. And the open cars that are battling to make their way into the 500, J.J. Yaley, Anthony Alfredo. There's one more, B.J. McLeod. Thank you.
McLeod, yep.
So Alfredo, McLeod, and Yaley. There's not really a heavy favorite from that 3 like there was in the first race, where we thought LaJoie was the heavy favorite, which he was, and then it just went away from him late. Alfredo driving for Beard Motorsports. That Beard team, as I mentioned last night in qualifying, they only run the super speedways. They don't run any other race in the season than the super speedways. So they put all of their effort in going to the wind tunnel, getting the car ready to go in the draft. And it's normally very good in the draft, whether it's been Brendan Gaughan in that car in the past, Noah Gragson, now Anthony Alfredo. That would be my pick. If I were picking who's going to go through from the open car, I would go with Alfredo.
So let's send it back downstairs and join our team at Fox. And in a couple of moments, we'll get ready for the grid.
Number 2 coming up after the break, Chase Elliott. He's in.
No, apparently not. They're going straight to ad break. We're only with Fox for a few races. We're only with Fox for a few races.
What else can I come up with about this race? Connor Zilic is in this race. Everyone can't wait to see what he has. So Zilic, get to see him in race conditions as a now full-time rookie in the Cup Series. Will he have a teammate? No, his other teammates were in the first race, Chastain and Van Gisbergen. You do have McDowell in this race, no super speedway racer. He is. So yeah, you've got some interesting storylines in this race for sure.
Just trying to see what is going on with my laptop at the moment, because Matthew Owens' camera is about as reliable as any government right now. So let's see if this works. There we go. Just quieten it down, and we can see your wonderful face, my friend. Okay, Josh. This is Henderson, by the way. Not JT, not myself. Josh.
I can't believe you found another Josh.
Yeah, there's 3.
JB's just casually referring to himself in third person.
Yes.
Yeah,
Josh,
casually.
Josh picks up the microphone and starts talking about something
Absolutely
interesting.
incredible. I don't know who I'm going to be talking to with you lot.
Well, we've got JB, JT, and then just Josh. In fact, you're just going to be just
there.
Josh. What do you think we're going to see then coming into the second duel?
Yeah, so this is the tricky part, isn't it? It's like we have a lot of good cars in here and some certainly very, very capable super speedway racers. I looked through the rest of the field and we talked about those open cars, and of course Justin Allgaier already locked himself in. Probably best bet for that team at the moment, just ride along at the back, just bring the car through in one piece. That's a very decent grid spot that they would be in if qualifying, was setting the grid for this weekend rather than the dual races. So, yeah, you have to watch out for those 3 open cars. BJ McLeod notoriously can put himself in some good spots. JJ Yelly, a lot of talent behind the wheel of that car. We don't really talk about it because generally that NY Racing team is just not quite up to the caliber of some of the other teams of the Cup Series. But JJ Yelly, an established dirt racer, very, very quick on the dirt in some of the series I've seen as of late. And yeah, watch out for him. There's no doubt he can go back from the back to the front. And then we talked about Anthony Alfredo as well. Ran a full-time season of Cup, didn't quite work out for him, and now he's running sort of part-time in Cup and the occasional Xfinity race with I believe he's with our motorsports nowadays. He's with Viking for the full season this year. So yeah, you've got some decent cars. The 2 I'm keeping my eye on, Denny Hamlin in 2nd and Austin Cindric in 8th. Those 2, remember, got so perilously close to winning the Daytona 500 last year. We'll see how they go in terms of grid position for this weekend's race, but yeah, I wonder whether this is going to be a repeat sort of story for them in this Duel 2 race tonight.
Thanks, boys.
I have a question for Josh.
Which one?
I have a question, Josh. No, you just said call you JB, call JT JT, and call Josh Josh. So that's how I'm going to do it. So Josh,
yes, Matthew.
As someone that just came off of a couple of weeks ago doing Australian Open matches, and not being able to keep time straight to save my life, what time is it where you are?
Well, currently in New Zealand, it is 2:53 p.m. in the afternoon. So mid-afternoon out here.
What is that? Is that 14 hours? Or is that 16 hours? Good God. See, we should not have time zones this far apart. Do that math. The amount I just bounced across the last couple of weeks doing Australian Open matches was insane. I don't know how I lived through it, honestly.
Can we just take a second to appreciate that we have literally commentators around the globe in this very broadcast booth. We've got America, UK, and New Zealand. We are around the world, and there is no, we are talking to each other instantly. Right, let's get down to the track.
Drivers, start your engines.
Kind of thrilled to be there.
Into it, man. Come on.
Drivers, come on, we're gonna give it a bit more woof. Let me do
Can't
it.
put me off. I just got out of bed.
Yeah, not the best there.
Honestly.
It could have been better. It could have been worse. Could have been better. Okay, right. Let's get ready. Duel 2 at Daytona is coming up next.
Oh, dear.
One of these days, isn't it, Matthew? We just have to wait to see what's happening.
It's one of these days where I'm just hoping to survive and not lose my mind.
Well, let's see. I left you, 3 o'clock yesterday evening? Morning, even? My time. It's going to be the same again today, and the same again tomorrow, and probably the same on the race day as well. I'm not going to be healthy, am I? Oh, look at that beauty.
No, you're not. You're not. You're...
Beautiful speedway.
As Matthew said earlier, time zones. Why do we have them?
To kill me. To kill me. That's it, literally. Just to give you an example, by the way.
They should call them Joshua Birch zones. That's what they should be calling them.
Yeah, no kidding.
How can
I live to come up with great philosophical lines like that. Why do we have time zones?
Can we just appreciate that we go off air presumably at 3:30 British time, so that's UK, that's GMT. I'm on air at 6:55 AM. That is a 3-hour 55-minute gap. Then I kid you not, we're on air non-stop until 4 o'clock. Inside that, we have to do a Formula E practice 2 and qualifying with Megan producing with Pico and Omi on commentary. I then leave Formula 1 at 4:10 in the afternoon, go straight into the Formula E race in Jeddah until 7 o'clock. 45 minutes later, we do the trucks at Daytona qualifying until 9:30. Straight in 9:30 onwards, it's the Daytona O'Reilly's practice until 10:30, and then from 10:30 to 11:30, it is the second practice for the NASCAR Daytona 500, and then from midnight till 3:30, it's the truck race again. So when am I supposed to sleep? It's busier than
Never.
a 24-hour race. The only good thing is that I'm not hosting the truck race. That is your job, Josh. So I get to produce you in that regard. You'll hear my voice in the background.
Yeah, well, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? Too many trucks for all the spots available, and some pretty cool names in these too. We've talked about Tony Stewart and the drivers available to us that are competing for those open spots.
I should point out as well, your commentators for the truck race tomorrow will be Jack and Josh as well. I'll be on production and pit lane duties for you all. And then for the O'Reillys, we haven't worked out yet who's doing what. Are you with us, Matthew?
I do not know.
No, I don't know either.
I truly cannot be the 2 hours ahead of my life right now.
Matthew, what I will say is just do a quick disconnect and reconnect so that your systems are A-OK. And then as the cars go rolling, we'll get running for the grid. And we will then know who is who coming into this one for the...
Sun never set for the JB Motorsports commentary team, someone
No, it doesn't. Who said that? It's completely true.
That was Mr. Slybard.
Yes, the sun never ever sets. We're always doing something stupid at something o'clock. Right, where's Owens? Is he back? JZ?
For example, me unable to sleep at 3 AM this morning, getting messages from 2 completely different continents on complete opposite sides of the globe.
Yeah, makes sense.
For context, America and New Zealand.
Well, JT, take us through it, and then as soon as Matthew Owens is back, he can run us through the grid for Duel 2 here as well. Matthew? Hello.
Hello.
Right, JT,
Hopefully,
it's all yours.
Hopefully all is well.
It is. JT, run the graphic. Matthew, go.
And there we go. On the pole for the second year in a row in his qualifying race is Chase Briscoe in his Bass Pro Shops Toyota. He's on the front row with a teammate, flanked by Denny Hamlin, 3-time winner of the Daytona 500. Tonight going for his 4th win in a dual race. Row 2, Hendrick teammate Kyle Larson, who's never won on a super speedway, flanked by Chase Elliott, who has won his qualifying race for the 500 on a couple of occasions in his career. Ty Gibbs and Christopher Bell make up an all JGR Row 3. Ty in the Monster Energy Toyota, Bell in the DeWalt colors. Row 4, Justin Allgaier qualified his way into the 500 with his speed last night for Kelly Earnhardt Miller's team. He's in the 4th row alongside Austin Cindric, the lone Penske car in this race. Row 5, Zane Smith and Michael McDowell, former teammates at Front Row Motorsports. Now McDowell, of course, in a very fast Spire Motorsports entry. Row 6, Connor Zilic, the 19-year-old phenom, makes his super speedway full-time debut, if you will, alongside Eric Jones, who nearly won his qualifying race last year. He has won here at Daytona in the 400-mile race. Josh Berry for the Wood Brothers in that David Pearson throwback livery rolls off in the 7th row alongside Carson Hocevar from Michigan, another Spire entry. Row 8, the Toyota of Riley Herbst from Las Vegas, flanked by Todd Gilliland in the other Front Row Motorsports car in this race, a teammate to Zane Smith. Row number 9, open entry, Anthony Alfredo for Beard Motorsports. He's alongside Ty Dillon for the Colleague Racing team. 10th row, a former Daytona 500 winner, Mississippi's Ricky Stenhouse Jr., alongside Tyler Reddick, who really struggled in qualifying last night. And in the 11th and final row, the last 2 of the open cars. B.J. McLeod, a native Floridian from Wauchula, for his own Live Fast Motorsports team alongside the Arizona driver J.J. Yaley. And that is the starting field for this second Daytona 500 qualifying race, known officially this year as the America 250 Florida Duel at Daytona. No, it's not a 250-mile race. It's a 150-mile race called America 250 Duel at Daytona. It makes all the sense in the world, I know.
Well, it could be worse, mate. It could be called a Freedom 250. I said this on the Good Network last night. It comes to something when even NASCAR goes, that's too much.
Oh my God.
Well, down the pit road they will come then. Circulating once more. Chase Briscoe will lead them through. Right. Larry Mack, what have you got?
Race, it may be under caution, but as we saw in the first duel, probably under green. You've got to be mistake-free. You've got to execute that stop. Anything that driver can do to shorten up that trip to pit road, that's how Joey Logano and the 22 team took control of that race. They had over a 3-second faster pit stop than Ryan Preece. And if you're an open car, like Anthony Alfredo, BJ McLeod, or JJ Yaley, be there at the end, and you might make it to the Great American Race.
Never give up. That was a real Hail Melon move for Casey Mears. Now here's Denny.
Oh, no. Didn't know that. Right, I think this is going to be interesting. We had Brad Keselowski in the first one as well, Matthew. He raced with a recovering broken leg. Denny Hamlin is going to be racing here at Daytona with a pulled shoulder that he's going to have for the entire season. That's just bonkers to even contend with.
Yes, it is. And of course, he has raced injured before in his career. So he is not, it's not totally foreign to him. But yeah, Hamlin going to deal with that all year long. Probably going to be at its worst here at the start of the season, especially with 2 super speedways, followed by a road course to start the year. Those are 3 really physical races for him to go through to here. By the way, we talked that this is the America 250 Duels. Can we get to 250 subscribers on the Ultimate Sports Network by the end of the night? We are at 247. So can we get to 250 by the end of the night?
Get over to the Ultimate Sports Network.
Just a bit of news I got for you guys before the start. William Byron will be going to a backup car for the 500.
Wow.
So the man chasing a three-peat will not be using his main car. He will be going to a backup. Not that the main car looked particularly quick in qualifying, I'm going to be honest. Maybe the backup car's got something the main one don't.
See that coming, don't we, as well, sadly. That's going to be part of the factors and part of the atmosphere. Well, here we go then. It's time for the second duel of the evening here in Daytona. Pace car will come by once more, and then we will get ready to go green. Pace car's in, Briscoe up high, Hamlin down low. Stand by for action. NASCAR is green at Daytona. Good start from the duels. Immediately Briscoe's pulled out. Hamlin's going to go side by side. Kyle Larson pulls back. Chase Elliott trying to come up high as well, Matthew, as they swing in towards turn number 1. So far, a good try and a good start effect as they take through down the back straightaway.
Teammates working well each other at the start. Hamlin just lagging back there on the start to allow Briscoe to take off and then dive down across his nose. So the Joe Gibbs Racing teammates get linked up nose to tail down the back straightaway for the first time at speed. Into turn 3. It is Briscoe from Hamlin. Double file from third on back. Kyle Larson alongside his teammate Chase Elliott. Then Joe Gibbs Racing teammates race door handle to door handle. That's Ty Gibbs on the bottom to his outside, Christopher Bell.
Nice start there, Josh, as well as they come through over the line. Briscoe getting ahead of Hamlin. The 19 ahead of the 11. Oh, it's like the old days again.
Yeah, you're spot on there, and just going down the front right away now into turns 1 and 2. It's still Briscoe who leads Denny Hamlin. Then we go back a row down. It's the 2 Hendrick cars going wheel to wheel as they enter turns 1 and 2. Elliott and Larson going hammer and tongs at it for that second row, trying to find a little bit more speed. As Justin Allgaier gets shuffled out of line, going to have to back out of that now. That's the 40 Junior Motorsports car going all the way to the back, down the back straight away.
Yeah, and that's not good, Matthew.
He's okay with that. He's just okay with that, JB. He's in the 500 no matter what. That team does not want to go to a backup car. It's not a full-time team, so he's just going to ride along at the back to not get caught up in any funny business tonight. They are A-okay.
So over they come once again. Briscoe takes it over the top. Jack, what did you make of that start? 1 lap 3 of 60 already.
simple start so far for the duels. Everyone's staying calm for now. Currently, as it stands, it's Alfredo, I think, who would be in the 500. Because I like to focus on the open cars. I am personally rooting for McLeod, though. I'll be open with my bias here. I want McLeod to make the 500 because I love that unsponsored car. It just makes me laugh.
He's in 21st at the moment.
Go McLeod. Get loud for McLeod, people.
Look at Hamlin. He's already on the back of Briscoe. Those two have bumped off with each other. Look at Larson and Elliott now side by side. And here comes Christopher Bell as well now, Matthew, on the high line. He's trying to just give a push to Elliott and try and close up to the 2.
McDowell in line on the side behind Bell as well. That very American-looking race car, the red, white, and blue, with Screaming Eagle in the front of it. Eric Jones latched onto the back of him. So, as I said at the top, a lot of teammates around each other here to start this race. Briscoe and Hamlin, Elliott and Larson, Bell and Gibbs. So these teammates getting together and settling into this 150-mile race. Here's some 3-wide action heading on the way to turn 3. Eric Jones has drafting help from BJ McLeod. Speaking of McLeod, he is the first of the open cars right now. He's ahead of Alfredo. He's ahead of Yaley. He climbs the turns banking. To his left elbow, he's got Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who we know gets around these super speedways very well. In fact, that's 2 open cars, JB, running nose to tail with each other, topside, McLeod and Alfredo.
It's getting very treacherous out there. This is not what we wanted to see at all. 3-wide running got dangerous in the first duel. We had 2 cautions come out as well. One in the pit lane, one as a result of this melee coming into it. Then the 3rd caution was at the end of the race. Do we count that as a full-on part of it? Look at Hamlin. He's tapping the back of the 19 already. So Hamlin trying to give him a little push and shove there. It's not working out. Josh, what are you making of it? It's still 3 wide coming through Speedway 3 and 4.
It looked like it was working out for that legacy Toyota of Eric Jones and BJ McLeod. They were pretty much side by side with Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson going down the back straightaway, but just didn't quite work out for them as they go now through the front straightaway. It's still Briscoe and Hamlin leading the field, but they have lost that advantage they had on those early 4 laps. Now on to lap 6, it's Hamlin in second, Briscoe in the lead. We go back to Larson and Elliott still pressuring them from behind. And that 3-wide battle still going on with Jones and McLeod able to make a lot of movement on the top side of the racetrack through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Just can't quite make the sort of runs that they're getting on the top side through the corners as they're able to get through the back straightaway now. They just lose all that speed.
Matthew, just take a look. We saw the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse just coming down low, almost taking Zilic out, and they're still battling together. But as you said, the 78 still on the high line, just trying to keep out of BJ McLeod. He's made his way up into 10th place, so maybe Jack's got a point to cheer him on.
Well, and they run the super speedways almost exclusively as well, as I talked earlier about Beard Motorsports. So they have a lot of, all their time is going speedway efforts. And again, as we talked about in that first race, the pack for the most part doing a lot of fuel saving. McLeod can maybe take advantage of that, put the hammer down, run 100%, maybe get to the front of the field and get some track position doing that, because for only 2 cars to be on that 3rd lane, they are doing well sticking with the rest of the pack as they are alongside Austin Cindric and Michael McDowell.
Coming out then over the backstretch, still 3 wide. As I do mental mathematicians in my mind to see when we're going to see the fuel stops coming in. At the rate they're going, we're running slightly faster than the previous race. JT, what have you made of that start?
Good clean start. Out front and in the main fields, we're on board with Denny Hamlin looking back at Kyle Larson on the inside and Chase Elliott on the outside.
Stenhouse got a 48.6. His best time was on lap 4. We're riding with Denny Hamlin. Closing in once more. Look at that 3 wide now, trying to close back in. Todd Gilliland, Jones and McLeod trying to make that, as we see, just pulling back at the moment for Justin Allgart. Don't want to get involved in that. I think, Josh, as well, that outside line's going to start getting quicker the more rubber gets put on it.
Yeah, you've got to have a little bit more grip up the top side of the racetrack just to find that extra speed. But realistically, you need a lot more help than what they're getting at the moment. They're closing just ever so slightly, but that's, again, they're probably using a lot more fuel in doing so just to try and make their way through the through the front packs of the field. I mean, the rest of the field kind of fuel saving because they've got a big train of cars that are able to push them and cars that are able to sort of lead them through, which allows them to sort of partialize that throttle, run half throttle, maybe 75% of the throttle down through the racetrack. But for Eric Jones, Todd Gilliland, and BJ McLeod, they're going to be very, very careful with that because they're probably shooting a lot more fuel up just trying to get to the front.
Fox goes to commercial break. We stay with international pictures. There's Kyle Larson, champion from last year, side by side with Chase Elliott, side drafting off the back of Denny Hamlin. And Gilliland's now jumped. So what happened there? Because Gilliland is now...
Eric Jones has pulled out.
Yeah, he's pulled out of it. Where's he ended up? I can't see him in the mix of things.
Jones is he's up next to Gibbs, so it's only McLeod and Gilliland left on the outside.
Yeah, Jones was able to get down to that middle line, so that's left McLeod and Gilliland topside, as Josh said, and that's not great for McLeod. You get the feeling he's going to have a lot of help tonight in that 78 car. He probably needs someone pushing him and pulling him. He had Jones up there. Just as I say that, though, Gilliland gives him a good shot halfway down the back straightaway. McLeod, who, remember, led laps at Talladega a couple of years ago. This 78 car can the drag rate equalizer. And he's leading that third. 4 cars get up there, though, to help him out. But Gilliland's giving him a couple of good pushes. And so far, so good for McLeod. He's in position to transfer.
Kept my eyes now as the chat's helped out. He's in 5th position. Eric Jones, they come through into Speedway 1 and 2. The outside top lane not working out the way you want it to. The middle lane is still competitive enough. Go on.
Oh, just saying that outside line is absolutely gone. Gilliland's completely backed off now. McLeod's just left to fend for himself. He's dropping like a rock through the pack right now. There's Gilliland. He had a look to try and help out McLeod again, but has pulled into line on the middle of the line, which it will now very, very soon turn into the outside line.
So taking a look, this is riding on board with Denny Hamlin. That's a geometric stabilized camera. As it now filters back through. If you watch MotoGP action, you'll see those cameras quite... it's on a gib, basically. JT, could you explain what the camera's actually on? Being a cameraman yourself, it's hoisted up on a gimbal, isn't it? So as you move the car, it stays in one place.
Basically a gyro cam.
Yeah.
Very, very cool piece of equipment.
That's the word I was looking for, gyro cam. Although it's not coming to me at 2 o'clock in the morning. 54 pushing the back at the 5, coming down the back stretch. You're watching back on Fox Sports. We apologise for that. On the international feed, keeps on going at the moment because we've got Larson side by side with Elliott. And look at Hamlin getting right on the back of Briscoe, coming down the back stretch.
By the way, you heard Josh kind of take you through that sequence of McLeod and that top lane deteriorating. So BJ's dropped to the back here. No harm, no foul, really. I think he learned some good things for the end of the race, jumping up there and making so much progress. So now might log some laps here at the back, save some fuel just in case that fuel stop does come under green. But I think BJ went to school right there, learned a lot of good stuff for the end of this race. This, as I said earlier, this feels like a wide open race between those 3 open cars on who gets in. Right now it's Alfredo 15th, Yaley 17th, and McLeod 19th.
Keep an eye on who gets in and out. Just want to point out, just an odd guy in 22nd place, fastest on the track, 48.549. So staying out of it, but still proving he's fast.
And of course, he can be at the back of the pack too and suck up on the entire pack. I mean, that's 21 cars ahead of him, creating a big hole in the air. So yeah, Allgaier, there's plenty of speed in that car. There's nothing wrong with that car whatsoever. They just don't want to risk it tonight.
Nah, don't blame me. Look at him. We're riding on board with the 40 now. Out of turn 2, down the back straightaway, past the Le Mans chicane. And look how much he closes up and then purposely lifts so he's not in contention. It's weird driving. It's like watching what we've been doing in Formula 1 testing this week as well. Just lifting and coasting through the corners, saving battery, regenerating it as well. We've got loads of stories coming up with that as well. If you want to join the F1 testing, that's on JB Motorsports tomorrow. We've got a huge story about how the Formula 1 start procedure might have to change. So we'll bring you more on that tomorrow in the broadcast. Jack, with 15 of 60 down, 45 to go. The field now just starting to save on fuel. Who are you looking for as a possibility to get through? You said you were rooting for BJ McLeod, but he's been swallowed up into 20th.
I identify as Jack as he is Devon.
Go on, JT. It's okay.
Yes. Fuel saving, getting into it now. Lap 15 of 60. We are a quarter of the way through this race as they complete this lap. Briscoe, Hamlin, a little bit separated out front. 1 or 2 car lengths between Hamlin and still Larson and Elliott side by side. But Briscoe, Hamlin together, and then everyone else trying to fuel save behind. How long will we go is the question. Will we go shorter than fuel 1 or longer or the same, Josh?
Yeah, sorry, JT. Just on that fuel saving, it's one thing I've noticed, and we talk about it a lot at the super speedways, is leading these lines, you tend to use a lot more fuel. We talk about that with our outside line just briefly, but with Chase Briscoe and Chase Elliott leading the inside and the outside lines, they're going to be using a hell of a lot more fuel than the cars behind them. So that changes their sort of strategy a little bit, because they've got to be careful. If they run sort of low, significantly lower on fuel, let's say, than, let's say, Ty Gibbs, who's running in 6th place right now, that could be 2-3 laps difference between them and the cars around them before they have to pull into pits. So it's going to be a very interesting game of strategy to see how they play this.
It's all about the front field.
The hole are punches in the air. The hole that these cars punch in the air, they're so huge. And the lead car on each line just dragging the whole field along. It's very much an Indianapolis 500 type of conversation that we're having. Sorry there, JT. I'm not here to talk over you. You're the best producer in the world.
Yeah. What's it? Something like the front could run anything up to 90% throttle, but if you go as little as 2, 3, 4 rows back, they're only running 80% throttle, 75% throttle. So a lot of fuel saving depending on where you run in the field, because you don't have to. You can use less throttle because there's less air pushing against you, because that's pushing against the cars at the front and breaking that all up.
I answered a word in 3 laps. That was beautiful from you 3, analysing that. I was invested.
And JB. Without the apex pad.
Yeah, that was it without the apex pad. Yeah, that's our new favourite toy at the moment. I'll start doodling on Matthew in a minute as well. I think it'll be fine. Oh, gee. They can look like a kitty cat. Anyway, on board with Tyler Reddick coming through, speeding up the back to the 77 of Carson Hocevar. Ty Dillon's just dropped down a couple of places as well, actually. So that pack running's not doing him so good. Apologies for the birds chipping in the background. That's the Fox feed. It's been really poor tonight. Hopefully they'll pick it up for the 500. Usually we hear a lot more track noise, but they've done something with their audio today because they're not on the main Fox channel, if I'm not mistaken, Matthew, on an FS1. So it always messes up when they're on different audio channels.
Well, they've got a new producer this year, though. This is very in the weeds of sports media.
Yeah.
But there's a new director, not producer, I beg your pardon, new director of NASCAR on Fox. So changing some things around. People haven't been happy with the Fox coverage for a while. We've already got new graphics. I've already seen a couple of new camera shots tonight as well. So just testing some new things out. I think we might have a good season of NASCAR on Fox. That's just me. By the way, Jack,
you're looking quite a bit better. I mean, they've got Eric Brennan now doing some of the races. He was on the cars tour, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Jack, I'm not going to read the comment in the comment section on USN. I'll let you read that from our guy Seth.
Okay.
I'll let you read.
He's not wrong. He says, "Oh, it's Jack and JT. Please pray for Jack, everybody. Nothing wrong with him. He just supports the walking meme club that is Tottenham Hotspur. Believe me, it is an incredibly painful experience. Thank you very much. It is incredibly."
First time I've seen Premier League football mentioned in a NASCAR broadcast.
Oh,
You'll understand. We get off topic sometimes.
Oh, Josh, well, wait until you hear some of the rabbit holes we'll go down. Believe me. Oh, we can twist them all in together.
This is good, though. This means that the racing is actually just dull at the moment, which should we keep it through. Congratulations to USN, who have 250 subscribers.
Wow, look at that. We did get to 250. Look at us go. 500 by the Daytona 500. I'm going to guess that that's not going to happen.
Forming now, gents.
Yeah, three lanes forming up back.
That too. Yeah, Stenhouse always aggressive to try to start new lanes, and he, along with Ty Dillon, oh jeez, speaking of walking memes, but here he comes, Ty Dillon around the outside of Chase Elliott, around the outside of Denny Hamlin.
Oh, Elliott's getting close.
Field.
You sort of just want to watch with your fingers when Ty starts moving too out, don't you, as well? And Elliott's backed off massively. Elliott had no pace at all coming through turn number 1, and that's compromised Larson, and it compromised Bell. And now there's a draft again. Hamlin and Briscoe still at the front, ahead out there as well.
Well, something's happened to that outside line because they've just completely broken apart. That allowed that third line to form with Stenhouse and Ty Dillon. That's the only way they managed to come up there is that third line, second line, just really broke apart. And now that's sort of really messy out the back. Maybe we had a couple of guys thinking about a fuel stop and needing to switch to the bottom lane. And that's possibly why we've done that as Stenhouse. Goodness me.
Massively out of shape.
Yeah, Stenhouse, when he gets in the mood that he wants to get to the front, just beat and bash his way to the front no matter what happens. I'll tell you what else has happened, though. With that outside line, as you mentioned, Josh, kind of breaking apart, Anthony Alfredo has made up a lot of ground, and Alfredo is a part of the top 10 now. He is the highest running open car, so Alfredo, what is he, 4th or 5th in that outside line, so he's made up a lot of ground.
Still pushing on.
Yeah, you're spot on, and sorry, JB, I just wanted to mention we had Chase Briscoe switching lines a little bit there. I thought he was going to permanently leave his drafting partner of Denny Hamlin there to switch up to the outside with Chase Elliott, but no, he's come back down to sort of block that inside line with Hamlin and Larson on that line now, then followed by Bell and Gibbs. So that entire Joe Gibbs Racing organization is on the bottom line of the racetrack right now. Bit of strategy going on, I'd say, in that camp. And a little bit higher on the racetrack is led by Chase Elliott. I'd say Elliott probably would want to get down to the bottom of the racetrack and let Ty Dillon and Stenhouse lead that outside line as soon as physically possible because he is just spewing fuel right now, leading that outside.
Riley Herbst, watch out for him. Fastest in that little pack battle, running 13th at the moment, 48.526. Then it was a 49.505, so he's still faster of the running so far. This is how it should sound, by the way. But Fox keep muddling up with their audio for some reason, so I might have to fire off a very stern email to the NASCAR media department. JT, what have you got for us?
Should we be concerned that Ty Dillon and Stenhouse Jr. are together?
I wasn't going to mention it, but I am now worried about it, yes, because you've also got Ty Gibbs in there. And you know that what they like to do. By the way, Anthony Alfredo running in 11th position, but look how close they're getting on the backstretch. Oh no, Dillon's pushing the back, and here comes the 47. Yeah, okay. I predicted a caution in about a lap and a half, and it will be caused by Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who always causes the cautions. JT, you did the math last year. How many cautions did he actually bring out himself? And there goes the audio, by the way.
Is this a good time to mention that I still haven't completed the Cup Series side of it, and I need to kind of pull my finger out and kind of sort it before Sunday?
Do you see what I mean about how the audio just changes? This is them, by the way. Let's compare it. This is our audio. This is theirs.
Road for a splash of Sunoco race fuel with zero carbon bioethanol. Is he?
Do you see why I'm annoyed? We don't want to hear the commentators. Take them off the feed and give us the track noise. It's a little bit better. I'll tell you who the best are doing it. Prime. Prime are the best. NBC is second. TNT was third. Fox, though, comes in low 4th for that. They're the worst every time we try and do it with the split. Over the line we come then.
You can see how much he slowed
Chase Briscoe moving and shaking around just a little bit more than he has as he's kind of playing both sides of the street. He'll jump up to the top just a little bit to cover off Chase Elliott. Elliott's getting a lot of big shots from behind, and that's because Stenhouse is pushing Dylan, who is in turn pushing Elliott. So Briscoe just wandering back and forth a little bit here. But Briscoe right now with Denny Hamlin, who's
keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Keep pushing here. Keep pushing to the line. Keep pushing to the line. That'll put us in it right here. Keep coming here. Keep coming. All the way to the line. Yeah. Well, hey, we made it. Sir. Woo! You never know at this place, man. I don't know what the hell we're going to do. We're pretty tore up, but damn right we're in. Hell yeah. You the man. You the man.
That'd be fun. Radio. That was the radio from Casey Mears from the first race, who Cole trickled his way into the Daytona 500. Awesome for Casey, as that outside line has gotten neck and neck with Denny Hamlin. Chase Elliott leading that upper line here. Again, this full draft still intact. All 22 cars with Justin Allgaier just hanging out at the back to avoid any trouble. And now Elliott, with a push from Dylan, puts a fender ahead of Denny Hamlin. Now Hamlin will get the rod and reel out and drag him back. Double file from second on back, all led by Chase Briscoe as they swing up out of turn number 4, closing in on the halfway point of this race.
Yeah, we're going to have to start talking fuel here, chaps. Go on, Josh.
Yeah, just actually to both of your points on that one, I think the reason we're getting a lot of hard pushes on that outside from Dylan and Stenhouse is they probably want to get on with it a little bit. They want to have a little bit more of an advantage when it comes to fuel, given they've been, riding in the back for so long. But Chase Elliott, though, he's going to want to save, as I've talked about for the whole race so far. He's really going to want to save. He's probably backing himself up into Ty Dillon. That's why those cars are getting so far connected. The rest of the field sort of just relying on the draft itself rather than bump drafts.
Well, and remember, too, with this next-gen car, super speedway races more than it was for many years is a track position race. The finishing order of these races determine the starting order on Sunday. And for a guy like Ty Dillon or Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the further they can finish up tonight, the further they start up on Sunday, and you just start in a better position. Yes, you can win at Daytona from anywhere on the starting grid, but it just helps everything strategy-wise if you can start at the front. And for teams like Colleague and Ty Dillon and Hayek and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., they don't have as many opportunities throughout the season to be up front and to get advantages like they could with a good finish here tonight.
That's just the YouTube chat on JBM saying the same thing. Remember, we went 30 laps caution-free. Then as soon as they came into the pit stops, that's when we had all the drama, and 3 cautions came quickly. Josh.
Yeah, sorry, JB. I'll come quickly to you in a second. I just noticed that there was a big gap out between Hamlin and Briscoe just through the back straightaway, entering into 3 and 4. Big opportunity there for Chase Elliott to drop down to that bottom line and save some fuel. He didn't take it, which is very interesting considering how much fuel those front 2 cars of Briscoe and Elliott are going to be burning just by leading and breaking the air away from the rest of the field.
Matthew, to your point, actually, from earlier, they are taking this one incredibly cautious. 2x2 side by side, but no, not a lot of shoving, not a lot of pushing. They know how important it is to capitalize on Group 1's mistake.
No, and we had a very calm first half of race 1 until we got
3 wide, never mind.
Pit stops. Yeah, now we're 3 wide. Riley Herbst, Michael McDowell, and Christopher Bell on a 3 wide spread. Anthony Alfredo's back there too. Alfredo trying to keep everything clean in that open car. Just behind him is J.J. Yaley, about a row back, as meanwhile that outside line is really moving forward now. Chase Elliott dipped to the bottom to split up the Gibbs cars of Briscoe and Hamlin. That is free Dylan and Stenhouse to do what they want to do, which is push themselves to the front, but riding a rocket ship around the top. Riley Herbst rim rides his way to the outside of Hamlin and Stenhouse and stacks at 3 wide.
Watch Elliott, he pushes the back of Briscoe, and then Hamlin's dropped back. Dylan now will take over at second position. That's purely on momentum speed. Look at that. So he must be burning the last of the fuel, but coming up is Riley Herbst on the top line.
You've got to be really, really careful with these sort of second and third lines, though, JB, because if you need to get some fuel, you're going to have to drop down to the bottom. And if that bottom line is clogged and you desperately need to come to the pits, let's say in the next 3 laps for fuel, how are you going to do that if that bottom line is completely and utterly clogged up and you're stuck two rows on the outside? Big move on the outside line between JJ Yaley, Todd Gilliland, and Riley Herbst. Those three got all snake-like as they went into turns 1 and 2. Lucky to avoid any contact with the cars on the inside of the second row.
Hamlin's going to cause this. That's what I'm saying. Hamlin is going to cause the caution here. He's all out of shape. Riley Herbst is going for the lead of the race. He got a massive shove from the back of the 44. He's almost in the wall coming out of turn 3. He's side by side now with Dylan. And now we've got nearly a 4-wide battle. It is 4 wide. And it just comes back to 3 in the exit of 4. Unbelievable. Can Riley Herbst do it over the line? 3 wide into the trial, Matthew.
Riley got a huge push at the back door from JJ Yaley. Yaley's got Todd Gilliland behind him. We know those front row cars are really good on the super speedways. And now at the front, Chase Briscoe weaving back and forth from top to bottom to try to block all 3 lanes at once. It is Briscoe, the leader in turn 2. 3 wide in his rear view mirror across the track. Elliott, Dillon, and Riley Herbst. Hamlin gives a push to Elliott. That's going to move the bottom lane forward. Here comes Elliott right to the rear spoiler of Briscoe as the top lane led by Herbst begins to fall back just a bit.
Yeah, he's dropping back, Josh, and that's what we're expecting. And there we see the 47, and Larson just getting a little tap into it as well. This is going to be very treacherous. They've got to behave, but NASCAR drivers never do.
Yeah, this is really, really intense scrapping going on through the front couple of positions. The front 2 drivers of Elliott and Briscoe have broken away from the field right now, so those 2 are single files that go down the front straightaway, entering 1 and 2 one more time with lap 35 in the books now. Coming up very, very shortly for fuel stops. Ty Dillon running that top side. They've cut the 3 wide maneuvers, and it's still at the front, 2 abreast with Elliott and Dillon now. Briscoe way out there. Got to be careful of that. You don't want to get so far out there because those cars behind are going to get a massive run, just like Denny Hamlin just got to the back of Chase Elliott.
We've got double the amount of cars. Unbelievable. This is going to be a brilliant Daytona 500 on Sunday. Or Monday, depending on what the weather's going to be like.
Oh, thanks.
I assume, Matthew, that you've taken the days off as normal.
Yeah.
Also,
try to plan in advance as best as possible. I tell you what, though, here comes Briscoe again, drifting up the banking just a bit. That outside line has Briscoe a bit worried, and I think it's not really because it's Ty Dillon that's leading it. I think what has him worried is that it's an aggressive pusher in Stenhouse that's doing the pushing to Dillon. Here's Briscoe weaving up to the top.
Elliott.
Now Chase Elliott's got to run on the inside. Briscoe comes down to cover him off, and Briscoe is working the draft extremely well. Remember, he won the last super speedway race, a part of a full-time cup season at Talladega last October.
a good Stenhouse. That's it from Briscoe.
47 back tighter with the 10 here, quarter off each of the mid. They're back separation. 10 still ahead by a nose.
That's the radio for
Air
the
traffic
19.
control.
Yep, radio for the 19 coming through at the moment, and that was helping because now the 47's right in the back there. What have you got for us?
This is wicked.
Very close stuff. Look at Briscoe weaving up and down, trying to block both Dillon and Elliott.
I'll block them both forever, mate.
No, this is going to get quite close and quite tight. Look at the 62! My goodness me, Anthony Alfredo almost taking out Ty Gibbs, and Christopher Bell's in that little melee. Watch out for Connor Zilic as well. He's a fast driver. This is his first proper full-speed NASCAR race in the Cup Series. And Matthew, we loved him in Xfinity last year.
He was great. Now, I just, looking at Chase Elliott that last time through turns 3 and 4, he laid that right front fender just to the wheel well of the left rear tire of Ty Dillon, just using that side draft, using the air to his advantage to pull Dillon back. Now the back straightaway, Briscoe tried to come up to get in front of Dillon, who had a big head of steam, but Briscoe's been able to stall out that run on the top side. Briscoe is working this like a surgical master here in this second qualifying race. He is really manipulating the air as perfectly as you can, but Dylan's got another run coming up top, and Briscoe shuts it off one more time. This is very well done from the driver of the 19.
Man who had pole position last year. Very much missed out on a race victory. What can we see here? Look at Ty Dillon going side by side now with Elliott. Elliott taking that low line, but he's giving the toe to Denny Hamlin. Back through. I'm loving this. This is giving us a great idea about what the race is going to be like come Sunday. Absolutely nuts. Wheel-to-wheel stuff at Daytona.
It feels like this race has been more tactical than the first race, which really that first race was controlled by the RFK cars trying to protect Corey LaJoie. But this has been a very tactical race, specifically from Briscoe controlling the lines behind him. And then, of course, with these guys fuel saving, as we've talked about, it's been a very tactical first, what are we at, 39 laps.
Yep, getting into the pit stops. I reckon Briscoe's going to the pit lane this time, by. He took the aggressive line. Yeah, he's going to let him go. He's going to let him go. I reckon we're going to see the handout this time by for Briscoe. So I'm coming in the pit lane. He took a low line through 1 and 2. I'm trying to see if he puts the hand out of the cockpit. Does he? Elliott's in there. He gets, well, Elliott bumps him, so I doubt it's going to be this time by. No news, I think, Matthew. So he's going to stay where he is for now.
Got to get down to 55 miles an hour. Remember, you've been running 185, close to 190. Got to get down to 55 miles an hour. Remember what we talked about in the first race with all the rear brakes in these super speedway cars. There's a lot to sort out to get to pit road, but we do have a lead change. Ty Dillon nose in front of Briscoe. Just the second lap in this race that Briscoe has not led.
Copy that.
Yeah, they're liking that. He likes what they've got on the front there. Look at the 47. I said he'll get involved. He's getting so close to causing a huge accident. He's almost touching the back of Briscoe and Dillon mid-corner. Bumper to bumper to bumper. Down the back straightaway. Can't see any hands out just yet from the drivers, but there's a little line forming there. This is
Oh, wow. Well, Ty Dillon's got way out there.
And you don't have any teammates with each other right now. Hamlin's not directly behind Briscoe. Larson's not directly behind Elliott. So no real teamwork going on right now to schedule these pit stops as Ty Dillon goes to the front. He's got two really good drafting track masters behind him in Stenhouse and McDowell. That's a good line. Here goes Stenhouse. He's going to slice to the inside. Dillon shuts him off on the entry to turn 1.
Yeah, Josh, I think that was inevitable because I think we're going to be in the first phase of pit stop soon. And this is where we could see an accident coming in. Briscoe's coming in this time by. Briscoe has got to stop. He's on the yellow line. He's trying to indicate to them, well, let's try and get past Stenhouse. Surely it's this time. You want to take the advantage of fuel.
Look at that push by Alfredo.
Oh, no, Fox!
Well, if Briscoe's coming this time, JB, he's going to have all the support of the JGR Toyotas. They're all going to come at once, right? That's a given. The Hendrick cars are going to come at once. The 2311 Toyotas will probably come with the JGR Toyotas as well. And it looks like, no, they're not down the pit road this time.
Should have done.
Oh, no, they are. They're in. Looks like they're in. No? No?
They should have been in.
That second line had a big move.
Yeah, they should
now
have been
Connor Zilich. Watch Zilich push Alfredo right around the top. This top lane is getting some big pushes these last couple of laps. And Connor Zilich might just be pushing Anthony Alfredo to the head of this field.
Yeah, don't rule out Connor Zilich either after the pit stops. Look at him. He's going absolutely crazy out there. He's pushed completely. Red Bull v Monster, but Red Bull's got the power at the moment as they come through. He's pushing the 62. Now Alfredo is side by side with Michael McDowell. Eagle ahead, but I don't think it's going to be soaring at the moment.
They are dead even at the line here. McDowell and Alfredo, 17 to go. And remember, I think in the first race it was with about 15 to go when everyone started to peel off for pit stops. So we certainly are getting close. And it's all about positioning yourself for this pit stop. Get yourself to the front, and then how short can your pit stop be? Guys like Briscoe, that's been at the front of this field for the entire race, going to have to wait longer on fuel. But guys that are at the front here, like Alfredo and McDowell and Zilich, they've been in the pack saving fuel this whole time. Now they've gotten to the front, so they've got track position, and they might be able to have a quicker stop.
Race control, 71 led that lap 2000s.
Whoa, cheers, JT. Look at Zilich now. He'll go third across that line, if I'm not very much. Yes, he does. Take third. The top 4, separated by 93. Jamie Little.
Continues to lead there in the 71, and they told him 2 laps ago, we are really good on fuel. You've done a great job working on that for us. So now go forward or maintain. And he went forward, guys. See how that car is running up front in that clean air.
Well, that explains what we saw, Matthew, and why the fuel's been saved so much. You're right, it's a tactical race. It's pit as late as you possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely right. And now you've got guys that haven't been at the front, that's been in the pack, saving fuel all race long. Now they're moving their way to the front. Now we got cars on pit road. Elliott, Hamlin. Also, you've got Eric Jones coming in, BJ McLeod as well. So 5 cars. Chase Briscoe, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Eric Jones, BJ McLeod. Let's go to pit road.
Bioethanol.
Yeah, and that's not all of the Toyotas, guys. You got the 45, the 35 still out there.
Time stops for fuel only. Eric Jones in and out. Now, can they all get lined up again as they exit the road?
Yeah. This is a super broken up strategy for the 19 and 11.
And Briscoe is not going to be with them.
Briscoe's going right to the back.
Because he's been leading the pack all night long, he had to wait on fuel. That's why the 19 was so much slower on pit road.
More coming in.
Yeah. Now we got more in. Alfredo, Dillon, McDowell, Stenhouse. Those are 4 cars on pit road, maybe a 5th. Yep, Larson is in as well.
Josh, what do you spot
Big
there?
sideways on moment for Zane Smith there. Just spotted that as those cars came to pit road. Zane Smith almost lost the rear end of that car and collided into the back of Austin Cindric. Very lucky to avoid that.
Good clean stop there from Alfredo. They don't need any mistakes on that 62 if they're going to make the Daytona 500. So clean stop there. Just don't speed. Fuel only for Kyle Larson. Going to be fuel only for everyone here. Connor Zilich leads the way. From Herbst, Reddick, Cindric, and Smith, we should see another wave of 5 or 6 hit pit road this time. They swing up into turn 4. Let's see who comes in. Zilich. Oh, and he's going to go by himself.
That was bad.
Zilich is a very lonely soul on pit road this time around.
Good.
The 19-year-old with 10
game
wins
over
in the
for
Grand
Zilich.
National. Yeah, he's done. He's done. So this
Unless a
pack
caution
at the front,
comes out, that's it.
This pack's at... Oh, Connor, I'm so sorry. That was not what you wanted. Now Riley Herbst at the front has the advantage of this little field run. Are they going to dive in? Yes, they're all going to come in this time by. So this would put... Who's the leader flying in? It's going to get very tricky.
Well, and of course, these guys can go shorter on their time stopped in their pit bay because they've gone so much longer. So here they all come. Herbst, Reddick, Cindric, Smith, Bell, Gilliland, Hocevar, Barry, and Gibbs. Justin Allgaier stays out because he doesn't want to get in any dramas on pit road. But this group of about 9 cars coming to pit road, it'll be fuel only for everyone. And Ty Gibbs on pit road. Car 54 comes to a stop. Sunoco Racing fuel going in. Just 1 can, not even a full can. He's away. And now we'll see on the blend where everyone's going to time out.
Yeah, it looks like Connor Zilich already been lapped as well. That's a shame on him. He lost out a lot on that timeline. So Justin Allgaier in the 40 has the lead, but he doesn't want it. So he'll back out of it. And now it looks like they're going to play that game. A green flag pit stop. Caution 2 going a bit easier.
Yeah, and Allgaier will probably pit this lap all by himself just to stay out of trouble. It looks like Tyler Reddick may have come out ahead of everyone. Haven't mentioned Reddick all night long. They were able to stay on pit road for a very short amount of time, but it looks like Reddick's at the head of the pack. A lot of scrambling around, though, through the blend. Josh Berry did not get up to speed, and there are cars left, right, and center of him.
Yeah, getting very messy in there as well, so not up to full speed. Cost him a few bits of drama. Come on. Yeah, Zilich did end up pitting in by himself as well, so that was not what was supposed to happen at all on the monitors. Justin Allgaier leads by 16 seconds. He's got he's effectively got a pit stop. To be honest with you, if he's good, stop. If there's a caution, he's golden.
He just came off pit road, actually. So this is...
Oh.
Wow! Carson Hocevar, a huge block on Eric Jones, and Hocevar made a big save, but now it's all shuffled up. Austin Cindric stuck in the middle with no help. Chase Elliott ripping it around the outside. Reddick goes up to block Elliott. Hocevar down the inside, guns it to the lead.
That was ridiculous. We saw in the center as well. Michael McDowell sort of gets swallowed up by the field, and there he goes again. What a brilliant move from Reddick. Reddick trying to dive through. We've got cars coming up pit road. Now we're going to see a big one if they're not careful with 10 to go. We have 3, nearly 4 wide coming through. And look at Gilliland. He's nearly in a little mess as well in the centre. He's being swallowed up. Round the outside comes Stenhouse. There goes Denny Hamlin side by side now. Coming in with the 45. Tyler Reddick has dropped back. It's Hocevar leading with Elliott coming up for a push.
Just worth mentioning.
Looks like that from Tyler Reddick.
Stops. Sorry there, Josh. Through the cycle of pit stops, Anthony Alfredo is 11th. J.J. Yaley and B.J. McLeod is not in this lead group. They fell back massively, so Alfredo is sitting pretty to make the 500.
Go on, Josh.
Yeah, blocks like that from Tyler Reddick we've seen so many times, countless times over and over again in the Daytona 500 on the last lap. That was a desperate and dangerous move from Tyler Reddick, but he pulled it off. He was lucky he had the courtesy of the drivers behind him to pull it off. But Carson Hocevar, goodness me, what a big moment as he entered through 1 and 2, now wheel-to-wheel with Chase Elliott.
And Michael McDowell coming out of nowhere.
Hang it out. No one's going to hang it out more than Carson. I mean, he's just going to go full throttle and not lift. Now watch Hamlin push Elliott, pushing Elliott hard in the middle of the racetrack. Elliott's going to get alongside McDowell, but Hocevar is going to have enough to cover that off. And now we're all full throttle to the finish. Everyone's good on fuel. And I mean, Carson Hocevar is going 3 wide all by himself. I mean, he is all over the track.
I don't know, boys. What is going to happen next? 3 wide.
Elliott.
They're really squeezing that middle.
Watch out for Ty Gibbs. What am I saying? Who am I looking for there? Oh, I need sleep, honestly. Riley Herbst is the one I'm on about. Watch out for
McDowell, push Hocevar.
Hamlin
Those two are teammates.
Hamlin in the centre as well. Watch out. He got a little bit of a tap coming into it from Reddick, and now he's side by side, as you say, with Cindric. And McDowell's been sent up high. Chase Elliott, though, has got the lead away from Hocevar.
Yeah, but I tell you, the driver of that 77 car, a fly could land on his eye and he wouldn't blink. He is going to let it all hang out. He has never taken a checkered flag in the Cup Series. This wouldn't go down to the record books as a Cup Series win, but remember, points are on the line. And he just wants a checkered flag. That's all he wants. And then he got Cindric and Hamlin right behind him, 3rd and 4th. Those were the 2 leading at the white flag of the 500 last year and didn't make it back.
No, they did not. Look at this.
Yeah, picture of a year ago, isn't it?
Hamlin's
big run McDowell, big run McDowell.
Hamlin too on the centre. Hamlin's going to go side by side with Elliott. Oh, and look at that.
Oh.
Hocevar touched the back of Elliott. He got loose, almost wiped Denny out. Denny's got the low line. He'll get a push from Reddick coming across the line. Fabulous racing here at Daytona.
It really is. And Hocevar just shoving Elliott out of 4, and Elliott made a great save. Boy, if I had Carson Hocevar in my rearview mirror, I'd be more nervous than a worm in a hallway of hooks. But Hocevar is letting it go right now, and he's got a teammate behind him. This is really good stuff as we wind this down.
How are you going to call the end of this one, Matthew? You're going to be all over the place. I had the easy job at the start. Look at Kyle Larson. He's side by side. He's past Hamlin, and now it looks like we're going to see the 47 go through. So Ricky. Oh, what's happened there? That's McDowell backed off. He let Larson through. Completely wanted to go behind him, and he'll sacrifice a bit of slipstream time. 3 wide. We're in the top. 5 all single file. Hamlin side by side now with the 88 of Connor Zilic. 5 to go at Daytona.
Watch Stenhouse.
Yeah, always watch Stenhouse, no doubt. And Connor Zilic got blended in with this group pretty nicely, even though he pitted all by himself. He's in line 6, and that outside line got very organized. That inside line has gone away, and now top 7 or 8 single file here.
This is Briscoe. Whoa, I was wondering why Briscoe pitted on his own.
Oh, he didn't make it all the way into his box. They couldn't fuel it with those rear tires on the pit box line.
They were pushing as he came into it. That explains why he was that so long as well. Right, 4 to go. Elliott leading Hocevar. Larson, McDowell, Stenhouse over the line. It's pretty much then all single file. The second file now line starting to come into it as well. And almost contact coming through turn 1. I think it's everyone down to Christopher Bell battling out with Josh Berry over 7th and 8th position. That is all single file. And now taking the low line comes Colin Zilic trying to take it through.
I can tell you too, Anthony Alfredo has been told by his team that that McLeod and Yaley lost the draft. So Alfredo has dropped to the tail end of this group to not get involved in a late crash like Corey LaJoie did. As long as Alfredo doesn't get involved in anything, he's going to make the 500. He is all the way off of this lead group here to avoid getting caught up in any carnage.
Let's get a clean one in, boys. 3 to go here at Daytona in the duel number 2. And look at the front now as well. Elliott getting a complete push. I'm trying to see if that's... It's weird seeing who's actually got the lead of that one at the front. That's not... That is Jason Elliott, isn't it? Then we got...
Yep, Elliott, it's single file practically now. That inside line is completely faulted, but can I just say, where did Connor Zilic come from? We thought after that pit stop it was all over, all run and done for the 88 team, but he's now back up there. Timed in 6th at the line last time by.
Yeah, just about everyone's still a part of the mix here. But we got single filed out pretty quickly here, and now no one in this lead group are 2x2. So where are the runs going to come from now that we're not in 2 different lines? 2 laps to go. Chase Elliott trying to win his Daytona 500 qualifying race for the 3rd time. Hocevar, who's never taken a Cup Series checkered flag. Kyle Larson, who has never won a super speedway race in the Cup Series. Their 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Then you have a pair of former Daytona 500 winners, 4th and 5th, and Michael McDowell and Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Well, it'd be ironic if Elliott does it as well, because he'll be 3rd, and Logano just took his 3rd early on tonight. Hocevar's pushing the back of Elliott. Larson's in there too. Do you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say it's Ricky. I'm going with JT. I think it's going to be Ricky. Out the last corner, white flag in the air. You know what that means? The next flag ends the race no matter what it is. And Elliott leads coming into the tri-oval from Hocevar, Larson, McDowell, Stenhouse. And now we're going 3 wide further back, coming towards turn 1. Still 2 now, and dropping back out of the mix. And look at Hocevar pushing Elliott like crazy. They've broken away Matthew Owens from Larson and McDowell and Stenhouse. Over to you for the call. Oh, never mind.
Hocevar's done well to push Elliott out. Now he's going to lag back and try to get a push from Larson. He has done that down the back straightaway. Hocevar to the bumper of Elliott. Does not pull out to try to make the pass. About 1.5 miles left here. It is Elliott leading to 3. Hocevar right underneath his rear spoiler third. Christopher Bell breaks ranks in the middle of the pack. He gets by Stenhouse. He's blocked off by McDowell. Here they make the turn for home. Larson slices to the inside. Hocevar throws a block. All of that is what Chase Elliott wants to see, and Chase Elliott gets to the checkered flag and wins his Daytona 500 qualifying race ahead of Hocevar, Larson, McDowell, and Bell. And finishing in 18th is Anthony Alfredo to transfer in for Beard Motorsports into the field for the 68th running of the Daytona 500.
What a race. Fantastic. Chase Elliott wins Daytona 2. The duel, and that was well controlled. How often do you see the driver who starts the last lap win here at Daytona in green flag conditions? That was a superb defense and a superb drive as well. What do you think of it, Josh?
Yeah, fantastic from Chase Elliott. What a fantastic defensive drive. Carson Hocevar gave him everything, just didn't quite end up with the help he needed. A little bit further back, the movers and shakers, they had a go at the inside line, just didn't quite work out for him. Ended up bringing Denny Hamlin up into the top 10, which I have to say, as a biased man, I am happy about. I will take that after being shuffled all the way to the very back. But certainly very interesting to start that low line and get absolutely no momentum with it. You'd think you surely would get a little bit of a momentum boost, but nonetheless, Chase Elliott, dominant drive from those last couple of laps.
JT, I will transfer to your winner's graphic now that has come up. But I'd just like to get you on mic. I text you about a couple of hours ago saying, we'll be out by 3. You said, no, we won't be out. We'll be at 3:30. It's 2:55. It looks like we'll be out by 3.
I hate to be that guy, but NASCAR post-race will take more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, but we'll be out of here by about 3:10, which is fine by me. I get a couple of hours decent sleep.
Still not free though, is it? Goes the wrong way to Chase Elliott now.
Not bad. Very, very happy for Mark, Linda, and Annie Beard to get Beard Motorsports into the Daytona 500. They work all year to have that car ready for the super speedway races. Heck of an effort from that entire team. The 26-year-old from Connecticut, Anthony Alfredo, into the race. He ends up beating McLeod by 1 spot, but it was very large margin on the racetrack. So BJ McLeod, along with JJ Yaley, they will go home and not make the Daytona 500.
Let's head down to Fox then, and after we'll get everybody's final thoughts as we'll hear from Chase Elliott, winner at Daytona number 2.
To win 3 or more duels for Hendrick Motorsports. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has 3, Jeff Gordon 5 dual wins.
Here's Anthony Alfredo. Gosh, what a relief. He'll sleep good tonight. Probably didn't sleep a wink last night.
Probably had to use a few of those wipes on the side of his car. Might have been a little nervous.
The 26-year-old from Ridgefield, Connecticut makes it in. And the 30-year-old from Dawsonville, Georgia captures the flag. Jamie?
Well, Chase Elliott said this week he wanted to get after it in this duel. With this new body, he wanted to feel it out, see what you had. What's your opinion of it after that one?
That was a great way to get the blood pumping for sure on a Thursday night. It was a lot going on. You know, those last handful, really ever since we came off pit road after the cycle, man, we were getting after it. It was a lot of fun. So I had some great support there. You know, Carson did a great job helping me control those lanes and you know, helping get Team Chevy to victory lane tonight. So certainly owe him an appreciation for, you know, just kind of sticking with it and also pushing me well. You know, it's really easy to get people out of control. So appreciate that. Nice to get the Napa Chevy, you know, a win, not a 500. I've been here before, not the other one. So you have to, you know, kind of learn to take it a day at a time. But look, great way to start, you know, this speed week for our team. Really proud of all the effort. Everybody, Hendrick Motorsports, the boss, you know, from top to bottom, you know, their commitment and will to win is pretty darn high. So proud to be a part of their team, and good night. Looking forward to Sunday.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. How does getting this win, I mean, knowing how your team executed, your pit crew, everything, how does that set you guys up for Sunday and you trying to win your first Daytona 500?
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a rocky road. You know, we've had a couple really close opportunities. Fortunately, we've won this race here tonight before, you know, like I said. So I'm excited, but, you know, I'm also kind of cautiously realizing, you know, what Sunday brings, and obviously that's the, you know, that's the big prize that we all want. So certainly you know, we'll enjoy tonight. We'll think about what we can do to be better. Definitely some things that I think our car can improve on before Sunday, and the track is going to deteriorate. It's going to be a good bit warmer and sunshine being out. So a lot to think about between now and then, but, you know, appreciate the effort, and we'll be ready to go to work come Sunday.
All right, that's Chase Elliott, winner of Duel number 2.
You said the pre-show will take more. If we can get this wrapped up in 45 seconds, we can all go to bed. Coming out there as well. Oh, Regan Smith's going to spoil it.
Daytona 500, but tonight you had to race your way in. How stressful was that?
I definitely don't love being in that position. Making it on time's a lot easier, but I mean, do this for the 3rd time. It's really cool because the first race ever, so I was sitting right there. And my career's had a lot of ups and downs, and you never know when you're getting another shot to race on any Sunday, especially the Daytona 500, a great American race. So I have all my family here, my baby girl, Everly. I think I've only been this choked up twice in my life. When she was born, qualified for the Daytona 500, and it wouldn't be possible without Beard Motorsports. Is a tremendous family, women-owned NASCAR Cup Series team with a dream, carrying along Mark Beard Sr.'s legacy. And Dude Wipes. I mean, I wouldn't be in where I'm at in my career without them. And they've been my flagship partner in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. And then we've done some cup races together and excelled. But to come here and make the Daytona 500 together is a dream come true. And I mean, missing it last year has haunted me until this very moment. This is the only thing that could blow that black cloud over.
You can absolutely see the emotion involved with making the Daytona 500 such a big night.
Yeah, great story.
Okay, there we go. Let's go around the room then. Jack, what did you make of all the drama today?
Well, it looked like, and there's BJ McLeod with Anthony Alfredo. It's good to see those two. BJ obviously being one of the two drivers that didn't make the race. I think Alfredo actually drove for BJ McLeod a couple of years ago in the Ben Xfinity series, but overall I think it's actually the wrong way around, to be honest. I had Duel 2 being the chaotic one and Duel 1 being the non-chaotic one. Looks like they decided to swap it around to confuse me this year, but overall I think pretty solid so far. I didn't expect Hocevar to ever get that because he had Larson behind him.
Yeah.
No way Larson was going to push Hocevar past Elliott. But overall, I think the good story of tonight's duels, of course, Casey Mears making the 500. That's just insane.
Absolutely. Right, let's check in with Josh quickly before we go in for Matthew and JT's finals, because Matthew's going to run us through some graphics. Josh, what did you make of the second duel out there?
Yeah, good racing. Interesting strategies by all the drivers across different teams. The JGR Toyotas breaking it up through the pit stops was certainly a very interesting play. But nonetheless, I mean, the racing was good. It was hard racing. There was close racing at times as well. Didn't have to rely on a big one. And as I said at the end of the first duel, you don't really want to be making those sort of mistakes in the first sort of couple of qualifying races of the weekend. So, yep. Well done to the drivers that made it through. Fantastic for Casey Mears and Anthony Alfredo. Two great drivers, and nonetheless, we'll have a wicked 500 on Sunday.
Okay, right. JT, the graphic is open. And Matthew, it's all yours.
Okay, let's go through first the drivers the open cars. Casey Mears in race 1 raced his way through the last lap carnage, and Mears will race in the Daytona 500 on Sunday. So that means from the first qualifying race, not transferring through and packing up and going home will be Chandler Smith in the 36 car for Front Row Motorsports. A shame for that team to not make it. And also the fourth entry from RFK, Corey LaJoie, does not make it into the Daytona 500 after being in an advancing position all night long. Then from the second race that we just finished, Anthony Alfredo transfers through to the 500 with an 18th place finish, and that means going home will be J.J. Yaley. The New York racing team does not make it into the 500. Neither does B.J. McLeod for the team that he owns, Live Fast Motorsports. So that is who got in to the 500, who raced their way in, and who did not. Now let's give you how they finished in the second Daytona 500 qualifying race, which was won by Chase Elliott. Third time he's won his twin 150. Carson Hocevar comes home to finish second, just 65 one-thousandths of a second separating the top two at the finish. Kyle Larson came home third for Hendrick Motorsports. Fourth was Michael McDowell. So the top four, 2 Hendrick cars and 2 Spire cars. Christopher Bell for Joe Gibbs Racing finished in fifth. Sixth was Josh Berry for the Wood Brothers. Seventh was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Eighth was Todd Gilliland, as we're really going to test JT here.
Yeah,
Ninth was Ty Gibbs, and 10th was Denny Hamlin, rounding out the top 10. 11th tonight was Eric Jones, who was kind of at the front, at the back, in the middle all night long. He was a little bit of everywhere. Tyler Reddick came home 12th. Finally, some speed showing out in that 45 car. His 2311 teammate Riley Herbst finished 13th. 14th tonight was Zane Smith. And the 15th place finisher was the rookie Connor Zilic. 16th was Ty Dillon, who did spend time at the front tonight. Austin Cindric came home 17th. Not a good run as we expected for the two team. Anthony Alfredo, as mentioned, finished 18th to race his way into the 500. 19th place finisher was B.J. McLeod, who fails to make the race. Chase Briscoe comes home 20th after a slow pit stop. He'll still start on the front row on Sunday. Final two finishers, Justin Allgaier, who was just trying to stay out of everyone's way tonight. He finishes 21st and 22nd, 3 laps down, and not making the Daytona 500 is J.J. Yaley. And that is how they finished tonight in the second of the qualifying races for the Daytona 500, and now we're all set to go. We got a truck race tomorrow. We've got an ARCA and O'Reilly race on Saturday, of course. But as far as Cup cars are concerned, it's only practice sessions that separate the Cup cars, drivers, and teams from the 68th running of the Great American Race.
And JT, your final thoughts, please, mate.
Am I free from pressing buttons? Matthew, I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it. You need to go quicker if you're gonna catch me out. Please do not go quicker next time. That was
the limit.
That was normally I have two hands on my stream decks. That was a phone in one hand with the results, a stream deck in the other hand. But yeah, two good duels. Duel 1 being the chaotic one. Back to the olden style of the duels, with the first one being the chaotic one and the second one. Yes, I said olden, Matthew, deal with it. I did. It is 3 a.m. in the morning. I don't have another word for that. But yeah, the not most you I know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Very I am going to say it because it cannot change because it's done, and I cannot do a curse. Quiet Duel 2.
Was a quiet Duel 2. I agree. Cheers, JT. Cheers, Matthew. Cheers, Jack. Cheers, Josh. And thanks to everybody watching on USN and JB Motorsports. We should be back. Got the trucks coming up tomorrow for all of the action as well. That's going to be quite an interesting one. And you've got your first Daytona 500 coverage coming your way in about less than 48 hours. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Good luck, boys. Thanks very much. We'll see you later. We know who's racing, when and where. You know what to do. Tune into USN and JB Motorsports for the Daytona 500. Bye-bye.